Day of September 2025, and this is your perfect morning companion on television where we serve you nothing but sizzling breakfast. I never get to walk alone on Sundays.
Absolutely. I mean, how can you walk alone on a Wednesday?
I know.
It's not possible. You know, midweek has its own vibe. Exactly. So, yes, it's nice to be here.
Good morning.
To see you. Good morning. I've missed you.
I missed you too. Well, there's a lot to unpack today. There's a lot happening in the country. The big push has been officially launched. I'm sure you remember that in the budget presentation, the finance minister announced that there was some 13 billion allocated for the big push yesterday. President Mohammed cut short for the construction of some roads. He says that no wheelbarrow contractors will be allowed. The AG versus the Ghana Bar Association is also there. There's a lot to unpack. We'll talk about the Tamale Technical University unrest, and police says that, well, thankfully, calm has been restored to that particular university. This and more. We'll talk some sport also. But first, let's motivate you. Our quote for this morning is by Henry Ford, who says, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. The airplane takes off against the wind and not with the wind. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, without adversity, sometimes it's difficult to know that you're doing the right thing, you know, because if everything seems so smooth, everything is going in that direction, you're likely to think that, oh, you're not doing anything at all. But if you're going against the wind, you realize that, yes, you're putting in the efforts and it's yielding the results. So, yeah, that's a good way to start the show this morning. And so let's go against the wind. Let's not go with the wind. And going against the wind also means that we're learning new words every day. And teacher Nurain, I think the quote was for him. Charlie, let's go against the wind. And so let's learn some new words this morning with our word of the day.
Today's word is C-O-R-N-Y. Again, C-O-R-N-Y. Corny. It's an adjective. If you describe something as corny, it means it has been repeated too many times and therefore is no more interesting or funny. Let's exemplify it. The comedian's jokes were rather corny, hence people lost interest in listening to him. Corny.
As well. You know,
Antigone.
Yeah, Antigone. But, you know, I can really relate to the example.
Okay.
There are some comedians, like, once they mount the platform, you know exactly what they would say. Yeah.
And I think their profanity on stage 2 has become one too many. We want to laugh. We don't want to know about what's happening in people's bedrooms or what will happen in somebody's bedroom. People are actually came from their bedrooms.
The language is very vulgar. You're trying to learn, but we are forgetting that Americans can do it. It's not a big deal there. But here, you cannot be using the F's and then, so please, our comedians, stop being corny. Stop being corny. You know, you just get some new spice and let's enjoy your comedy here in Ghana. It's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wishful.
Ish.
Anyway,
on that wishful Wednesday, let's get some fire in our system as we pump ourselves for a beautiful Wednesday morning. Kind Cassie, black shirt. About her so soon. That's why we stay on your TV from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. So that you can't easily forget us.
You know, but there's something about Black Sherif. I mean, you listen to Black Sherif, and then you realize that. And I first I was not appreciative of his artistry, but I think over time he has been able to. He grows on you.
Yeah,
his music grows on you some way.
He wounds his way into your heart and into your life.
Not
somehow.
my heart, but in my head.
Hey.
Yes, my heart. Yeah.
Your heart's no honey.
Don't try. No, but I mean, I'm beginning to appreciate his artistry and
his craft,
he's doing well.
Lyrical prowess.
Yeah, I really want to see him maybe 10, 20 years from now still remaining relevant, like the others like Jay-Z has remained relevant all over the Kodjo, even Lumba before he passed on. I just want to see Black Sherif 10, 20 years from now. I'm quite curious about what to expect.
I think we need to invest in music.
We do. The structures. If you don't go abroad, sometimes in some way, you have to go and play 2 shows there, get some more, come and use it to record here. I mean, come on. And then, I don't remember, aside the music awards, I am not too sure of any big shows. We used to have the S concert, among others.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's time to bring them back.
Absolutely. Anyway, let's head to Inside Out.
Right, so for Inside Out this morning, we are looking at quite a very interesting bit that has to do with Tamale Technical University. So the students there decided to go on a demonstration.
A peaceful demonstration.
Yeah, well...
That was the initial plan.
I don't think there's any demonstration that starts as we are going on a blood hunt demonstration, no. But
some people actually set out to, you know.
Oh, really?
They have the idea. They just have a
never
position.
communicates that we are going on a
dangerous,
blood...
Once you say that...
bloody demonstration. No, nobody has announced a bloody demonstration. But what are the key issues here? I think Ibrahim Al-Hassan has joined us and help us appreciate. So on your screens now, these are actually scenes from the Tamale Technical University campus. It turned so bloody. Ibrahim.
Yes, it did. And talking about Black Sherif, I think you should go easy on the swear words.
Yes.
And then his pension of promoting use of substances that ought not to be encouraged. These two.
I agree.
Especially when he has a hold on, he seemingly has a hold on the youth.
Exactly. That's the last thing we want to hear him encouraging. All right, so back to the Tamale Technical University, otherwise known as TATU. Yeah, TATU. Yes, here's the thing. The university has a council, and it puts together a body that assists in running the university, including deciding how much students must pay. Right? We say students all about, we know it's the parents that pay, right? But of course, some students pay themselves. The university decided to kick out membership of the student union from that particular body or committee. So GRASAC, that's the Graduate Student Association, their president kicked out of that particular committee.
Okay.
The Student Representative Council, SRC, the president kicked out. And the university decided to make some recommendations relative to how much the students must pay as fees. The students go like, no, we need to have a say. Because honestly, according to best practices, that's what happens. True. Even the University of Ghana, the council, the SRC president sits on that council.
You don't impose.
I've been an SRC president before. When big people, headmasters, housemasters, when they are meeting, small boy, you are sitting in there. Because even though they might not listen to you,
but you
when problem comes, they will say that the students are their representative there, right? It's basic. So these were the reasons why they were agitating. And again, they were accusing management of the institution of mismanagement, right? That they are unable to account for some funds and that they are unable to maintain the university as they ought to. Their hostel facilities and what have you. They are, in fact, lecture rooms. So these are the concerns. And they decided to embark on a protest. Then the police were called in to intervene. I think what happened yesterday was despicable. videos of policemen physically assaulting these students. Yes, students were pelting stones and what have you, right? But that's why you are trained to be able
contain.
to exactly
Crowd
control,
riot control,
and you were appropriately suited to do that. So there was no need for this high-handedness on the part of the police.
and we've had cause to complain on this platform on different occasions that our law enforcement agency should learn not to, be high-handed when it comes to dealing with civilians who have no weapons. Now look at the police officers. Almost every single one of them had a weapon.
Exactly.
The students did not have any.
Yes.
And you allow the situation to degenerate like this?
It's terrible. The students, were misbehaving, burning ties, of course. They are doing things that will mar the lifespan of the road and what have you. The infrastructure there, yes, we get that. They were destructive, yes, they were. But the solution is not to physically assault them to the point that some of them sustain varied degrees of injuries. You don't do that. But it's something that I think government must pay attention to. The education ministry should pay attention to. The appropriate authorities must pay attention to. The regional ministers must pay attention to. Because as we speak, there are policemen stationed in the school. And knowing very well how this quickly degenerated into something else.
There'll be loss of trust.
Most definitely, between the management of the university and then the student body as well. So quickly, this thing will have to be nipped in the bud, right? So, yes, once again, another case of student rout, a protest that's supposed to be peaceful, that has degenerated into this that we've seen. Of course, I'm sure we're trying to engage the school authorities as well.
Absolutely.
As and when
Absolutely.
We get them.
But you know what my fear lies? This is a technical university. So there are students who have tools. And now police is quick to say, well, calm has been restored. But then if the students feel in one way or the other that they were unduly treated by the police, these police officers who are stationed on the campus, anything can happen. So we need to quickly find ways and means where we can get to the negotiation table in terms of dialogue to be able to make sure that whatever undercurrents there may be currently on campus, we are foiling all of these things, trying to make sure that tempers are calming down, people are simmering, forgetting about, because the issues the students raised, mind you,
they are germane.
They have not been addressed as we speak.
Because if you're charging me for certain things, and then the conditions under which I am studying are still poor, how do you justify that payment? How do I justify that? If I pay for this, you will give me that quality service.
Absolutely.
And so every concern raised, go to the table. Sit, listen to the students. What are their concerns? Are they legitimate? Of course they are legitimate.
And
can something be done about
the question, what went into the decision to kick off the students from the decision-making table?
Yes.
Because clearly,
we are not an autocratic society.
What is leading to that change? And until all of these issues are critically looked at and addressed, I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like the calm that has seemingly returned would stay.
But I agree with you, Joshua. And if you look at public universities, their fees are determined by even Parliament. So that must equally be looked into. Are they charging anything other than what Parliament has approved?
Right.
With the fees and charges bill, which subsequently was passed into an act? And if that is the case, what have they looked at the ability and the capabilities of the students and the parents to pay? Right? Because sometimes when you are revising fees, look at your environment. It's very critical and it's very crucial, right? Engage. I'm sure that if the SRC had been engaged, GRASAC had been engaged, it would have been their responsibility to then engage the students. Engage the students and say, we are unable to pay this much, but at the table, when the matter came up, we said, no, we could afford this much. So it becomes a decision that has been taken with the student body.
And that's the problem. I mean, these are not children. These are university students. They are above 18.
And
I can say that most of them are above.
For the job market.
Exactly. You don't treat them like you treat basic school pupils.
You know,
and demonstration is a right?
Yeah, well, and the police says it's illegal because we're not notified.
Yes.
Okay.
But you see,
How many times? I mean, you are the university. How many times did you go on protests that you had to go and inform? Even the university police.
Let me tell you a very interesting story. The university authorities then had introduced in-out policy.
Yeah.
What it meant was that the only individuals, only students allowed to have accommodation on campus was first year students. After that, go and fend for yourself. Of course, we are the mouthpiece of University of Ghana. I'm talking about the vandals, right?
Yeah.
So we decided to show something small. We were beating it. you see, but eventually, we were able to resist what they wanted to do. I don't remember any time university students writing to the police that I want to stage a demo. It's spontaneous. It's spontaneous.
It's caused the vim.
Yes.
Once you notify the police, means you must notify management as well.
That's the point. That's the point. That's the point.
And
so,
you
see, the system must be accommodating. Students are students, regardless of how high they are. The university students are all right. Yes. They are burning ties. Yes. But find a way of containing this.
But you know, it's interesting how there's a police statement to this effect, where the statement admits that no destruction to school property occurred.
Yes.
So it means that the students did not set out to destroy anything.
No.
The only reason they burnt the ties was to garner attention.
Exactly.
For management of the school to know that this is what we're doing. We are protesting.
Exactly.
And so nobody has access to the school. We're not allowing anybody come through.
Yeah.
But then we are not destroying school property. Yes. And even the police admitted.
Exactly. And you see, the police are in the statement, and of course, the statement talks about the fact that the Northern Regional Police Command has restored calm at the Tamale Technical University following an unlawful demonstration on Tuesday, September 16, 2025. Intelligence received indicated that at about 9 a.m., students numbering about 500 massed up in front of the school's administration block. Upon receipt of the information, a team led by Superintendent Richard Lante Odati was deployed to restore law and order. It was observed that the demonstrating students had set ablaze vehicle tires at the main entrance of the school, that's the Tamasco direction, and in front of the police post, that's Palsy direction, on the main road, as well as in front of the administration block. The students became aggressive upon seeing the police and started pelting stones, which resulted in 3 students sustaining injuries, as well as 3 police officers who are currently receiving treatment at the hospital. No damage to school properties and police facilities were recorded. The team managed to bring the situation under control and restore calm to the school. Meanwhile, the temporary deployment is stationed on the grounds to avert any recurrence. The police are refusing to admit that the injuries they reference are as a result of the assault from the hands of their men. You reference the fact that they were pelting stones, and then you jump to injuries without telling us, in essence, trying to tell us that it's the stones that resulted in the injuries.
Yeah. Well, they say that they pelted stones and they're trying to contain.
Yeah.
And then
they had to ruffle them.
Yeah.
So I think, Charlie, read the statement again. The students became aggressive upon seeing the police. So before the police came, the students were not aggressive at all.
Yes.
And then started pelting stones, which resulted in 3 students sustaining injury. So the students stoned themselves.
That's what they are telling us.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we have video footage.
So you know when they say when you throw a ball against the bounces back.
Yeah, they should have stoned the bounce.
Yeah.
Hey, what a stone. But I mean, it tells you clearly that maybe, but for the police on campus, we wouldn't have seen anything that happened.
Yeah.
Anything at all. At all. Because the police admits in that statement that the students became aggressive because we are demonstrating. It's an internal contest.
Yeah.
Why do we have a situation where now uniformed men with guns are now approaching us? Hey, what have we done? And for students, knowing the psyche of students, once you see this, then before you realize, things will just escalate.
The deployment could have been done differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, gun-wielding policemen.
You know, and
for students.
The police could have come in and maybe seeking to, guys, Charlie, tone down, you know, that kind of thing. But not with guns.
Yes. Yes. And they were there with their armored vehicle as well.
You know,
in fact, there is a footage of a policeman shooting tear gas from a van. That's the other version of that could be Blue Maria. Right? It's like, yes.
Not the black Maria.
Not the black one. Yes.
Because it's blue.
It's a blue one. Yes, blue color. You see, when you do that, you aggravate the situation.
The signal sent is terrible.
Yeah. Well, once again, another conversation about student rows, student violence. And that's the point we must also make, that, you see, students should not always resort at the least opportunity to choboi.
But you see, Ivy, you also admit that when students feel unheard, and even with parents at home, when your children feel unheard, they'll always find a way to make you hear them. So this is a way of telling you that we want to be heard. You have denied us a seat at the table. You have denied listening to us. What other means do we have? Yes.
I get you.
Yes.
I get you.
I mean, it means whatever we will say doesn't matter at the decision-making table. So we'll make our voices loud enough so you can listen to us. Unfortunately, it turned this way, but this could have been handled way better.
I agree.
Unfortunately.
I agree.
Very differently.
I agree. So school authorities, not just the Tamale Technical University.
Not just statute.
Yes, not just statute. Engage. The mechanisms deployed in the past when we were in school or when our parents were in school will no longer work today. Because the Gen Zs that we are dealing with, their psyches,
they are burning parliaments.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So you need to be very careful.
You need to be very careful how you handle them, right? Just imagine, students are asking the Director of Finance to go. In the past, this will not happen. The demand will end at, say, the school management. Or headmaster. Okay, you see a number of things about the headmaster and what have you. I remember when we were demonstrating on University of Ghana campus, right? IT, Professor IT was the vice chancellor. So you see a number of things about the vice chancellor, but you don't even dare to ask him to go because you know he's not going anywhere, right? Yes. So it happens, but now things have changed. So our managers of our institutions must equally be taught how to manage the students of today.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we've been joined via Zoom by the Director of Public Affairs for the Tamale Technical University, Usman Mubarak Abu. Good morning to you, Usman.
Yeah, good morning.
We trust that you're doing well.
I'm doing great.
Okay. But how is Tamale Technical University doing?
JAM has returned, and we are hoping that today activities will start, normal activities will start. Yesterday, the management of the university held a meeting with the students, which partially, I would say, was successful. And we are yet to communicate the decisions to them this morning. We are hoping that once it is communicated to them, they will find reason to at least consider that. Then we will continue to deal with other issues moving forward.
Okay. At this particular meeting, what was on the table for discussion?
Their petition, what they call student welfare, the use of IGF, and what they call it, resistance to increase in school fees. And other what they call corporate governance issues. Okay.
Are these concerns legitimate?
Students always have their concerns. Some of them are legitimate, and some of them partially not legitimate. So, in all legitimate concerns raised, management too is putting in what they call it, considering other factors to see how those concerns will be dealt with.
Now, you mentioned that they had a number of concerns, including the revision of fees. As management, what went into the decision to review the school fees?
There are so many factors that get into fixing school fees.
Okay.
And that is something that is not done by our university alone. It's done by almost every university in this country, because the university will need resources to deal with the issues that they are raising. And without those resources, their concerns cannot be dealt with. And so this is something that it is not new. The university has always done it. We have a fee fixing committee that will sit down and consider a lot of factors before coming out with an increment in fees. It is not arbitrary. It's not whimsical. So it is determined. There are so many factors, and you should appreciate that without the increment, running of the university can be challenging. So that's why I said some of their concerns are legitimate, some of them are partially legitimate, some of them are external factors. So we discussed that we had the meeting was okay.
Okay, but the revision of school fees, at what point was the student body informed?
We have always engaged students in coming out with school fees. But this time around, there was, like I said, corporate governance issues. There was the issue of students not fully represented, and they don't really appreciate what went into the increment. In any case, where you were yet to increase it, we were just at the level of discussing the increment or communicate the increment. So, as part of our measures to establish to consolidate our relationship with them, management decided to, in the interim, halt the increment so that we will further engage with key stakeholders to see how best we can deal with this particular issue, since it is a major concern to them. So, for now, the decision is that the increment will be paused, pending further engagement with key stakeholders.
What went into the decision not to include the students during the decision time?
That's why I indicated that these are corporate governance issues, which in the views of the university management should have happened. Okay. Even if it's statuted that they are not, that they are not supposed to be part, at least they can be in attendance to observe, so that they'll be in a better position.
Were they invited?
These issues to their constituents.
Were they invited? Osman, I'm asking, were they invited? Yes, you say even if they were not part, they could have been there to listen. Were they invited?
No, and that's why I'm saying that these are corporate governance issues, and these things happens. Sometimes you can miscalculate in certain decisions. So, in the view of management, yes, they can participate to at least to appreciate what goes into the fixing of fees. So it was one of their concerns, which at the meeting we have resolved that at least in future they should be part to observe,
right?
So that they will have a better understanding of what goes into the fee fixing and how funds are being utilized in the university.
But I'm curious. Does it mean that throughout decision-making processes, students are not part? That's your corporate governance structure.
I am saying that in the past, students have always been part of fee fixing. They have always been part of fee fixing, and that's why I said I don't want to repeat myself. Mm-hmm. So that gap of not being part was a source of confusion to this particular lesson. So fine, if they want to be part, why not? They can, even if it is stated that.
Right. So I think the point is well made, that this time around management decided not to.
Yeah, I think it's back.
Right.
I think Osman is back. Well, I want to find out from Osman, because we've spoken to some of the students, and they make that direct allegation that the GRASAC president, the SRC president, they were kicked out. Mm-hmm. So I want him to tell us whether it was management's decision to kick these two individuals out of that body. That yes. So Osman, if you can hear me, the allegation from some of your students is that two individuals representing the student, and here I'm talking representing the student, and here I'm talking about GRASAC president, SRC president, were kicked out of this body that was determining the revision of the fees. Is that the case?
That's to cure that that issue has been resolved. At the meeting, it was resolved that they should be back to observe the fee fixing process. To cut long story short.
Okay.
Right, but Osman, before you go, at what point were the police invited in yesterday?
As university management, we have that responsibility to ensure that we protect life and property. So, and the university security, internal security, to be very mild, they don't have that capacity to manage that crowd, especially and the expertise. So, ordinarily, any responsible manager will want to seek external support to be able to manage and protect this protester. We invited the Ghana Police Service to help control the demonstrators.
With the benefit of hindsight, will you say that was a good decision? Because the police says that the protest turned violent upon their arrival instead.
So if we did not invite them and something happens, you'll be the same people who accuse us that we should have, if we were overwhelmed, we should have seek external support from Ghana Police Service. Or any normal manager would seek the support of police when demonstrators are getting aggressive. Right. And that's exactly what we did.
Were you aware this was going to happen in terms of the demonstration?
Not really. After the Monday meeting, after the Monday unsuccessful meeting, the students said, "Well, you will hear from us."
Okay.
Only for us to see what happened.
You saw from them.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Osman, talk to us about the injured, the students who sustained injuries.
What's their state?
They have been discharged from the university hospital.
How many of them?
I'm not too sure of the number. I'll confirm later from the university hospital.
Okay. All right. Osman, thank you very much. We do appreciate your time with us this morning.
My pleasure.
So that's the public relations officer for the Tamale Technical University, Osman Mubarak Abu. He says that the student says, you hear from us. And they actually heard from them. Anyway.
Quite interesting.
I'm glad that there are some concessions.
Yeah.
Because that decision not to allow the representatives of the students at the table is a fatal one. And if it's at the core of everything we are discussing today. And he recognizes that.
Yeah. Personally, he believes that it was a wrong decision.
Yeah.
Yes. Even if
because
you didn't allow the students to be a part of it, let them sit down. I think
if previously they were part of it, and now you want to, it's normal that.
Yeah, but good news is that they've rescinded the decision for now to increase the fees.
Yes.
So they indeed heard from the students.
Anyway, that should do for Inside Out.
Right.
Let's see what the newspapers are reporting this morning. We begin with Daily Guide. Gold smuggling syndicate busted. 1 million cedis bounty for 4 suspects. It comes with a picture. I wanted a picture of 4 persons. 3 of them have their photographs there, and 1 doesn't. But their names are equally captured.
Yeah, I think the third one was replaced. There was a mistake in identity with the first letter. So subsequently, the right person's picture was released by Gold Board.
Bogosu Pristia Mine, Ghana risks $1 billion arbitration. Edichum targeted for smear campaign, that's according to his spokesperson. Declare state of emergency on Galamsey. Catholic Bishops' Conferences asking the president.
This matter. IB's Chronicle is here.
Yes, the Chronicle this morning. Mohammed's 10 billion big push takes off. He says, if you are a wheelbarrow contractor, regardless of the fact that you are his friend, don't come asking him for contract relative to the big push because the timelines are quite strict. 24 months, deliver. Okay, Bogoso Pristia Mine Bruhaha, Blue Gold files $1 billion arbitration claim against Ghana, and Editum has been targeted for smear campaign. That's according to the spokesperson. And the quotation, I think it's Matthew something. It's not that visible.
Yeah, scripture not here. All right, so the custodian is next. Says Tamale Technical University students clash with police. We just dealt with that. Wanted Gold Board places 4 million city bounty on 4 alleged gold smugglers. So 1 million for each head.
Yes.
Okay, I don't need it for. If you have any information on one, just bring it to me. I said Nketia starts NDC 2028 presidential bid. Oh, but the man says I'm back on a thank you tour.
Yes.
He's thanking people.
But what is he thanking people for?
No, as chairman of the party, he's now thanking the people for giving them the resounding victory.
It's a novelty, but I'm sure we'll turn and talk about this, right? You want to engage?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's hold on with the custodian for now. Let's go over and engage in Sakufia Sari. He's Executive Director for the Africa Education Watch. Good morning to you, sir. Mr. Sari,
Hi, good morning.
Okay.
Good morning to your service audience.
And now, I'm sure you've seen the videos on the Tamale Technical University unrest. As an educationist and a watcher, I mean, is this not worrying? Are we not seeing one too many of students unrest across the country?
Yeah, it is very concerning seeing the unrest unfold before our eyes. That's the last one we wish for an area characterized by, conflicts. And lately, we're witnessing various resurgence of conflicts. We would have wished that while conflicts are necessary in every human endeavor, in every societal activity or every ecosystem, the conflict should assume dimensions that are much more positive and progressive. There are ways to disagree and express dissent, express misgivings, express disquiet, about happenings. Such ways may not require such physical confrontations as we saw. One would have wished that the police wouldn't have had to even come in at all in the first place, because students could have been heard without the violent scenes that we witnessed. But having said that, with the police playing their role to ensure that it doesn't escalate, even though they were a bit high-handed in some of the scenes I saw, I think that the event at Tamale Technical University presents an opportunity for us to reflect, and then much more specifically reflect on the governance issues and the investment issues that underpin the spectacle we witnessed, and not just the symptoms. The symptoms are the ones that you hear them talking about, but there are significant undertones that have yielded this, symptoms that we are seeing manifesting.
Mr. Sorry, you say that you would have wished the police didn't come in at all. The Director of Public Affairs for the university also says that they dreaded destruction to school property. Now, I'm sure you'd recall that not too long ago we witnessed students destroying school property.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the police shouldn't have come in to protect lives and property. What I'm saying is that I would have wished that the students didn't engage in acts that would necessitate the police to even intervene, because they could have had a decent opportunity to still present their grievance in the demonstration without the excesses that occasioned the intervention of the cops. That's what I actually meant. But having said that, we are happy that calm has been restored, and that both parties are ready to have an engagement, verbal engagement to resolve the issue. I had discussions with the student, the GHOne leadership, the Ghana National Union of Technical Students leadership yesterday. I couldn't have anything constructive with the Technical University because the dean, all the authorities I spoke to were not ready to speak with me. Perhaps because it was an unfolding situation. It was very fluid. But what I pick, engaging students I know on campus, and then the leadership of technical universities at the national level is that once the students are ready and they are invited to the decision-making table, that is the first step in restoring confidence that was lost in decision-making education, what we saw.
Going forward, corporate governance, especially in schools, for you as educationists and watchers, how should we approach it?
Well, okay. From the education policy perspective, there are two dimensions to this issue. First, I'm talking about the drivers, the foundational propellers of what happened. One is a governance deficit. Okay. Decision-making in our tertiary institutions must be inclusive. Inclusive governance is a sine qua non. I don't want to say even in any adult institution of learning, even in institution of learning involving children, inclusive governance is a sine qua non. And so the first is that we shouldn't take the power to govern lightly, and that it must be shared inclusively in a manner that the people we are supposed to govern feel part of decision making, feel part of decisions when taking. And when that happens, they are in a better position to appreciate the real challenges of the institutions instead of assume because they have been neglected or alienated in the process. So that, for me, is one key lesson. The second is that since the conversion of technical universities, since the conversion from polytechnic to technical universities in 2016, per the Act, there are some technical universities that have seen close to no significant improvement in facilities and infrastructure. We've seen increase in student numbers. We've seen the institutions now offering degree programs. I can say that if some of our public technical universities were private, they wouldn't have met the requirements to qualify for conversion. If some of them were private, I'm telling you, because the same facilities that were there when they were polytechnics that are still there in some of them. Okay. Especially when you go up north, the three technical universities there, very, 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 deprived in terms of infrastructure and facilities. And so, over 9 years since 2016, when the conversion was commenced, I think the last to be converted were Boga and then Wow. So the reality is that investment in tertiary education infrastructure has plummeted, especially within the technical universities. It has plummeted. The priority has been in public universities, even though they are also having their own financial struggles. So if we really want to give a meaning to the upgrading, if we want to call the conversion from polytechnic to technical universities an upgrading, if we want to call it an upgrading, and we really want to give meaning to the STEM to TVET, STEM to humanities ratio targets in the education strategic plan, where we are aiming that by 2030, we should turn the ratios upside down or turn it around from 40-60 to 60-40, which means that 60% of our tertiary graduates will have been doing STEM, which includes TVET. Right. Then we must invest in expanding infrastructure, improving infrastructure and facilities in our technical universities. Other than that, you have student dissatisfaction, emerging occasionally because facilities are overstretched, facilities are inadequate, infrastructure obsolete, inadequate, etc. If we solve these two problems going forward in a much more systemic way, we are not likely to see what happened in Tamale in another university tomorrow.
I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. It means that there is a need to review that conversion of polytechnics to universities and then put in place the needed infrastructure.
To upgrade them to proper technical universities.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you too, as always, for answering our call and speaking to us. That's Mensah Kofi. He's Executive Director for the Africa Education Watch, and he makes very, very poignant points.
I mean, I couldn't have put it any better.
Yeah.
You have upgraded their names, but then in terms of what is on campus, nothing really has changed. I visited Accra Technical University just 2 weeks ago. No really change. No change there.
It's just a name change.
The plan was beautiful. In fact, I remember the then Deputy Education Minister, Kodjo, visiting Germany. Because that's the model that we intended adopting. I'm not sure they just converted by name and not by infrastructure. See, the conversion in most cases. In fact, I agree with Kofi when he says that if these were private institutions,
they wouldn't.
There's no way GTech would give them accreditation. You get it? But because it's public to public, that's the point. So let's address the infrastructure challenges. That's what the kids were complaining about. They had placards talking about the stench emanating from their washrooms.
Anyways,
back to the custodian.
Let me continue with the custodian here. I said, Stars NDC 2028 presidential bid. The custodian must tell us more. Mahama focuses on economic gains, not Galamsey fight. Mahama focuses on economic gains, not Galamsey fight, according to the Catholic bishops who are calling for the state of emergency. Yesterday, my wife was like, Mahama. Akan NDC youth revolts, shut down NHIS and NADMO offices. And that's on the front page of the custodian this morning.
The Daily Graphic says, big push project takes off. President Mahama sought for 3 major roads yesterday. It was live across some media outlets. It's a beautiful sight to behold that this government is actually prioritizing infrastructure. And the roads minister was there and he was very emphatic on that. The Greater Accra Regional Minister was there herself, and she mentioned that infrastructure is the surest way to development. And we couldn't agree more.
Linkages. I like the way the Rules Minister has been speaking. To be honest with you, we need those tough words from a minister. He says deadline 24 months. 24 months should be the deadline, right? Because you heard the president talk about the fact that the priority areas will be the roads that are linking regions to regions. So it should be easy for you to move from Accra to Cape Coast with no hindrance. It should be easy for you to move from Accra to Ho, especially roads connecting regional capitals. You see, you should move without meeting an oncoming vehicle and return without meeting an oncoming vehicle. Our regional link routes should be dualized. So if there is any effort to get this done, why not? And so, yes, Lily, I agree with you. Accra and then also Volta region. So yesterday, the president was in 2 regions at the same time. Greater Accra region and then went to Volta region. People are excited.
Yes.
And
I'm particularly excited.
I mean, if you use our roads and know what it does to you.
And then your cars.
I cannot use my road from my place through Asanteman to connect. Don't try it.
Wow.
It's a death trap.
The big push is supposed to touch you.
We need to push there.
We definitely.
The big push will touch you.
Galamsey fight. Catholic bishops call for state of emergency. Bringing land dispute. 5,000 school children displaced. 44 schools shut down.
We talked about this yesterday.
Air pollution now killer. Maybe. Now top killer overtakes HIV and AIDS, malaria. That's according to a study. Charlie, that's worrying.
Air pollution.
That's really worrying.
Dust, particularly in
climate change.
Yes.
Fumes from exhaust. Because
and even industries setting up in residential areas.
Yes. And there is residential areas these days.
Ghanaian Times this morning. $10 billion big push agenda takes off. 5 dead in Wakrum Junction road crash. And sacred Doti for Asanteman begins in Kumasi. And police fire warning shots to disperse rioting tattoo students. Something we brought to you extensively. Ghanaian Times.
The New Crusading Guide is next, and it says Gold Board cracks gold smuggling ring. Suspects arraigned. 1 million Ghana cedis bounty on 4 at large. This is my confusion. Is it 1 on 1 head
Yeah.
Or one for all the 4?
One on one head. Because they said the statement.
So then this is wrong, saying that
$1
million CDs bounty on 4. Not large, no.
Okay.
So it's 4 million.
Unless that has been corrected, because the initial communications are per head. So if you see one, it's
1 million. Charlie, father, relocate me.
Okay. The pictures, no. I need to.
You need to look at it because that's 1 million.
Use it as a screensaver.
That's 1 million going there.
Yeah.
So once you're in town, you're looking at your phone and checking. Okay. No region will be left behind in Big Push Roads plan, Mohammed says as he launches road project in Afienya. And there is also correction and apology, said Knight Professor, said Dr. George Rekubrobe passes on. Okay,
that's different.
Yeah.
From the Rekubrobe that we know.
Yeah.
So correction and apology. So why the man didn't die and they said he died?
I don't know.
All right. Well, there's retraction and apology as well.
Yeah.
But the doctor, no. Is it GTEC sanctioned?
I beg
Good
you.
question.
Green Finance Facility and National Imperative. Ghana must not betray its youth. And retraction and apology to TDC boss is also on the New Crusading guys. I know this well.
Retraction because it has been it's been serialized.
I'm Cog Hills Martin. He sees last part of Ghana's mining sector, and that's the New Crusading.
It's now a technical advisor.
Yeah.
The Informer says Galamsey war. Government warned against selective prosecution. GBA rejects AG's bias accusation. CJ urges decisive action on Galamsey. Says time to act is now. And we all agree.
Yeah.
Drug trafficking, narcotic targets e-commerce, internet services. Long overdue. CDD Ghana raises alarm over $200 million presidential election cost. Charlie, if you want to be president in Ghana, you need $200
million.
Well,
You need $200
but
I will not use that for presidency.
I know. No, but you never know.
But
Forget
the money
it.
will not come from your pocket. The Daily Statesman does
He has the ability to raise.
Exactly. 1 billion arbitration confronts Ghana over Bogosu Prestia mine stalemate. And I see in Ketia starts flag bearer campaign, storms Julius Debra's base under guise of thank you to. Okay, so I said we're going to talk about this briefly, right? So here's the thing. It's a novelty. It's never happened that party chairman goes on a thank you to. Especially after the leader of the party has done that. Muhammad has just completed his thank you to. Right. So if the leadership was minded, they could have just joined the leader of the party to thank everybody.
We don't know if this is the leadership of the party.
But he's the chairman. But have you seen the circular?
No.
You see, my concern is that the MMDCs will have to abandon their work and come and meet him. To me, that's concerning. They have to work.
Yeah. They have to go and welcome the chairman of the party.
That's the point.
He obviously does not know his way around the various communities, so they need to take him around the district.
Plus, he might have played a part in getting there.
Yeah, we get there, but once they get there, they are for you and I.
Yes, they are no longer for the chairman.
No, chairman has to go and say hello.
Chairman Hiyamwa. Anyway, so go smuggling syndicate busted. That is it for the Daily Statesman.
Oh my goodness. Well, the Ghanaian publisher says Ghana faces $1 billion arbitration over Bogoso Prestia mine indecision. Gold Board bus smugglers places 1 million bounty on 4 suspects. 1 million CD bounty each on 4 suspects. Asante Ketia fuels 2028 bid with thank you tour. And MPP blast police over tattoo student brutality. That's also captured there. Okay, so that's what the papers are reporting, and so do get a copy of Any on the newsstands and then get details, especially the Gold Board one. Let's bring you, Ibrahim Alasan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping us with Inside Out. Let's bring you the sports. It's time to bring you sports chat, and my brother from Hodome has joined me. Jones, ADZI.
Over the weekend, we had some original festival at Hodome.
Nice.
So the people are talking about you.
They need to invite me, extend the invitation. Again. Yes. The last time I was there, I told you I enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah, so please.
We'll start off. I will start off from the GFA because you know how we've talked about hooliganism at our stadiums and all that, or our stadia, and the GFA has started a workshop for our security officers, and then the Keto Krekuo started that initiative yesterday. It's a 3-day program from the 16th to the 18th, and they will train all the security officers at match day venues. And the trainers are coming in from the CAF, Confederation of African Football. Well, Keto Kreku has had this to say and was speaking yesterday at their launch. You and me at our match venues there, and training 3 days. Wish them all the best. We hope that they will learn something, and this time around in the Ghana Premier League we'll see something good. Well, let's get to the Ghana Premier League because new boys, Hoho United, after their 0-0 draw at the Accra Sports Stadium with Accra Suffolk, have had their former coach who qualified them to the Ghana Premier League, Coach Nelson, speaking, and he says that he believes that the team can do well this season.
I think they will go.
We hope they do well. Let's head to the UEFA Champions League because the Spurs team, yesterday we saw Mohammed Kudus and Thomas Partey in action there. Let's get to some of the results from the UEFA Champions League yesterday. Arsenal were all in action. Losing to USG there. They were at home and they lost 3-1. And the Spurs also beat Thomas Partey's Villarreal by 1-0. Mohammed Kudus getting his first 3 points in the UEFA Champions League with Tottenham Hotspurs there. And then we also saw some other results from the UEFA Champions League. But obviously, so Benfica also surprisingly lost to Karabakh by 2-3. And then, of course, we also saw Real Madrid, 2 penalties for them against Marseille. They beat Marseille 2-1. An interesting game, 8-goal trailer in the second half. Juventus 4, Borussia Dortmund 4 as well. There you see some of the goals. And then, of course, this Arsenal also beating Inaki Williams' side 2-0. Let's head to the fixtures for today. Bayern would host Chelsea, and I promise this to be a big one today, 7 p.m. At 4:45 p.m. Olympiacos will take on Pafos, and we'll also see Slavia Praha take on Bodo Glimt. There's PSG up against Atalanta, and then of course Ajax face Inter Milan 7 p.m. There's Liverpool taking on Atletico de Madrid. So big one, Bayern taking on Chelsea there. And then let's finally end off with the Accra Basketball League because the University of Ghana teams and female had interesting wins yesterday. They beat the BSA. The men's side beat the BSA 71-52 to keep up hope alive, and then the BSA ladies lost to the UG 46-53 in there. There is action today as well, and the Accra Basketball League. But then, because of the funeral stuff, so the game. We'll see how it goes.
Absolutely.
But is that why you're in black?
Yes. We're mourning this.
Okay. Just, yeah.
Don't ask me.
Anyway.
No, Asante is rich in gold and stuff, so that's the gold.
Where's the talk?
Oh my goodness.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
But my socks are black, my shoes are black, so.
Yeah. And you have black hair, by the way. Thank you very much, Jones, for the
sports chat. I can't say much for Jones when it comes to hair.
Anyway, that should do for the sports chat. You know that is Wednesday, so it's an all-female ensemble. And on Wednesdays, we have our Woman Crush Wednesday. What are we crushing on today?
Okay, so I'm going to reveal this. Greater Accra Regional Minister, Auntie Linda, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, I think she's a very fantastic woman.
She's
been one of the most visible regional ministers. Together with the Ashanti regional minister, I believe that they're doing so well. And for Greater Accra region, a region that is so problematic like this.
And highly populated.
Highly populated as well. Yeah. I think she's doing fantastic. And we're rooting for her. I really want to see her succeed. And she's on the right path. And so good morning to you, Honorable Linda Oklu, Greater Accra Regional Minister. You got my woman crush for this morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Honorable. We are solidly behind you. You know that for us as EIB, once you're doing the right thing, we'll always pat you on the back. Kudos to what you're doing. Even the president has commended you. So it means that you're definitely on the right path. We're back after this with the women for the breakfast review. You're welcome back to the show. This is still GH Today here on GHOne TV, and my name is Mohammed. It's Wednesday, so it's an all-female ensemble. We have a woman in studio. We are waiting for the NDC rep, but we have an MPP rep in studio. We have Joyce Owusu-Abeafi Esquire. She's a private legal practitioner and a member of the NPP communications team. We'll engage her shortly. There are a lot of issues to talk about, Galamsey. And she is a lawyer, so I'll ask her about the spat, especially between the Attorney General, the Ghana Bar Association, and the Attorney General accusing the Ghana Bar Association of being biased. We'll talk about that. But let's head to the Ashanti region. I'm sure you all know that the dossier for the late Asanteman is ongoing. It officially begins tomorrow, but there was a filing past. The Tumfo was sitting in state receiving persons. He equally he filed past the remains of the late Asanteman. Isaac Justice Bediako is our man on the ground. We have a makeshift studio in the Ashanti region in Kumasi at the Mensah Palace. Isaac, tell us, today is Wednesday. What are we expecting today? What's been happening since morning and then throughout the day? How's it going to look like? Okay. Isaac cannot hear me, but I'll come to him shortly. But Isaac, if you can hear me, I'm asking, today is day 3, yes, of the final funeral rites. I know that the body was laid in state from Monday. People had the opportunity to file past and pay their final respects to the late Asanteman. So this is the Mensah Palace. Beautiful display of culture, Asanteman. I mean, Ghana has beautiful culture, and very often when you go to the Ashanti region, you see it in full display. So this is the Mensah Palace as we speak. You also see security presence, obviously. We want everything done orderly. Yeah, this is the behest of the Asante. So that's Isaac just there.
In the person of Alban Kismot-Burben, the Speaker of Parliament, would be here to lead the parliamentary delegation in Mensah Palace today. But apart from that, the diplomatic corps is also expected to be here in Mensah Palace, where they'll get the opportunity to far past the body and also pay their last respect to Asanteman and commensurate with the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II when he's seated in state. So these are the people expected to come. National House of Chiefs would also be here today to also pay their last respect to the Queen and also commensurate with the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II. Then the Kumasi Traditional Council, of course, who are members of the Asanteman Council, will be here. Then the Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs would also be here to pay their last respect to the Queen Mother and also commensurate with the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II. So these are the delegations expected to grace the occasion today. Then on tomorrow, the President of the Republic, President John Dramani Mahama, former head of states, that is former President John Agyekum Kufuor, former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would also be here to also pay their last respect to the Asanteman and also commensurate with the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II. Then later in the afternoon, around 3 p.m., that is where the burial service would be conducted here in Mensah Palace. Then later in the evening, the body will be sent to Mensah Palace, the Queen's Palace. That is where they will go and keep the body for a while. Then later, they will move the late body from Mensah Palace through to Bantama Bamu. Now, when we say Bamu, Bamu is where they bury direct royals from Mensah Palace. And so in Bantama, next to Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, where they have Bamu there. So they will take the body there to go and perform other traditional rites there. But before the body arrives there in the evening, that should be around 11 to 12 p.m., the body will arrive there. Bantamahene and his delegation would be seated waiting for the arrival of the body. Then after what they are done with whatever they have to do there, they will move from Mensah, from the Bamu, and move straight to Bremai. That is where the Queen Mother will be given final, resting. That's why she will be given the final burial. And so these are the arrangements that they have put in place so far as today's funeral is concerned up to tomorrow. Now, there was an earlier restrictions that apart from banks, restaurants, and pharmaceutical shops, no other institution or business should operate in Kumasi. That restriction has been reaffirmed. It's only the banks.
Okay, so that was a technical hitch. But you were listening to Isaac Justice Bediako, where he was giving us the rundown on what is happening today in the Ashanti region, particularly in Mensah, as the final funeral rites for the late Asanteman is underway. Today, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, will lead a parliamentary delegation to file past the body of the late Asanteman and to commiserate also with the Otumfo or Saitutu II. Tomorrow is when the burial proper will commence. It will begin with some dignitaries coming in. President Mahama obviously will be there to commiserate with the Asante. The former presidents as well, former President Kufuor, we're told, will be there. Former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will equally be there. And then the burial service will commence at 3 p.m. tomorrow. So if you are heading to the Ashanti region, please take note. There are certain restrictions in place. The restrictions are still there from now through till the end of the burial and the final funeral rites. Those restrictions are there. Please take note and respect tradition. Even our constitution makes room for tradition in there. So we'll go back to Isaac Justice intermittently during this broadcast. But let's come to studio. I told you earlier that we've been joined by Joyce Osu-Aberfi Esquire. She's a private legal practitioner and a member of the NPP. I was asking about the spat between the AG and then the Ghana Bar Association. I'll come to that shortly. Let's go back to the Mensah Palace. Isaac, I lost you there momentarily, but you were telling us about the restrictions in place, what to expect, what to do, what not to do, especially if you're a visitor coming into the Ashanti region and to observe this funeral.
Yeah, so if you are a visitor coming to Kumasi to observe the funeral activities going on in the Mensah Palace here, what you should know is that today businesses in the city is still ongoing. There are no restrictions so far as business activities are concerned in Kumasi today, except businesses that are around Mensah Palace. Those are the businesses that they have been told that they should be shut down today so that their activities will not obstruct what is going on in Mensah. So apart from that, everybody is free to conduct his business activities. You know, in Asante region, every market belongs to the Asante Queen. Even with that today, they have still been given permission to operate in the various markets. However, tomorrow, that is where the final burial rite will be performed. And so that they have been communicated to that tomorrow all markets in the city should be shut down. And so that is exactly what they will be doing in the city tomorrow. No market will operate tomorrow in Kumasi. Quite apart from that, pharmaceutical shops, they can operate tomorrow. Banks can also operate tomorrow. Restaurants can also operate tomorrow. The explanation given is that the city will be receiving a lot of visitors and people would want to eat. And so they can go to the restaurants and eat. Quite apart from that, every business. So if you don't fall within that 4 category of businesses exempted from these restrictions, you have no business to operate in Kumasi tomorrow. So that is the information we have received from Mensah Palace. But as you can see from the background, tradition has also started. people from the Anglo have arrived here from the Volta region, and they have started displaying some of their tradition there. So today and tomorrow we are going to see different types of tradition performance in Mensah Palace because the event is picking up. And so today there's a lot of things that are going to happen in Mensah. Then tomorrow a lot would also happen in Mensah Palace. Now, another communication that has come from the palace is that tomorrow, when the royal family start their procession with the body from Mensah Palace to Bantama Bamu, they don't want to see anybody on the street. And that's why they have announced total curfew in Kumasi. It is not the entire Ashanti region, but in Kumasi, the curfew will take place in Kumasi. They don't want to see anybody. As the procession starts from Mensah Palace through to Bamu, there are other rituals that will be done. And through that, they don't want anybody to have a feel of what is going to happen. And so that is why they are saying that everybody should remain indoors. What I'm also learning is that there will be even a light out when the procession starts in Kumasi, especially within the communities that they will use. So from Mensah through to Bantama through to Swame, Makru, Bremai, where the Queen will be buried, the light out would affect these communities that I have mentioned. At the Abrafo, the executioners of Bantama would also be given a special responsibility. What they will be doing is that they have to make sure that nobody is on the stretch that they will use. And so they will be patrolling around to make sure that everybody is indoor. The Swame, Makru, up to Bremai executioners would perform the same function. They will make sure that everybody is indoor. People who also lives on top of story buildings who do want to use phones to do those things have also been warned that they don't want them to capture anything. Now there are technology, when they see any video going viral as a result of any person uploading it on social media, or that person will face the consequence, because now there's a technology to track that. And so the caution is that they don't want anybody to film any of the activities that will happen that moment, for which reason that's why they are saying that everybody should remain indoor. And so that caution has been sent already to the public. So
well, it's Lily, by the way. Anyway, so that's Isaac Justice Bidiako there, bringing us updates from Mensah Palace. I told you earlier that we're stationing at Mensah. We're bringing you everything that you need to know about the dossier of the Asante, the late Asanteman, and may her soul continue to rest in peace. We continue to extend our condolences to the Asante Otum Foresight to the second, as well as the whole Asanteman. Let's come back in studio. Let's discuss more issues of national interest. Obviously, that's also an issue of national interest. That's why we're highlighting it. Philippa, good morning. How are you? Why am I calling you Philippa? My goodness. This week I keep missing Joyce Osabefi. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Lily.
Okay, because there's a Philippa Befi. Yeah.
I understand, don't worry. Okay, I'll first say a very good morning to your viewers, and then also say good morning to my lovely lawyers for Bamia. And then I would also extend the sincerest condolences to the Asantehene and the Ashanti Kingdom for the demise of the Asanteman. Yes. And then also to our Honorable Lady, Adjoa Safo, lawyer Adjoa Safo.
Oh, yeah,
yes, on the demise of her father. Yes, so that is it. Should I begin?
Oh, yes. Well, let's talk about you're a lawyer, so let me begin on that note. The bar conference. Okay. You were not there?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you joined online. I mean, you have a hybrid system. So.
I didn't even join online, but I had an opportunity to listen to the AG.
Okay.
And also to listen to the response of our president.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why does it seem as though anytime there's a bar conference, attorney generals will use it as a means to criticize the Bar Association and then praising the government? It's seemingly becoming a norm. This is the first time we're seeing Attorney General criticize the Bar Association. Former Attorney Generals have done the same. Is that what is seeping into our society?
I would say that it is quite unfortunate for such occurrences. And in my view, I would least expect any criticism from this year's, as in from this current administration of the Ghana Bar Association.
Why?
Because they are doing a lot for the association.
Okay.
Yes, they are doing a lot. I can even talk about the reduction of the bar conference fees. We now have a lot of conferences, mini conferences for lawyers to fraternize and to know each other. So they are really doing a lot. So I wonder why the Honorable Attorney General would go that far to criticize them. You know, I feel that the criticism and everything is founded on politics.
Okay.
Yes, it is founded on politics. Why? Why do I say this? I say this because the current association of the Ghana Bar criticized the procedure for the removal of the Chief Justice. And I think it didn't really sound well with the NDC and hence calls for such criticism of the bar. But you know, the bar has a mandate per its constitution to ensure the independence of the judiciary, regardless of who is the Chief Justice. It is their mandate to defend them and to ensure their independence. So all the things that the bar has done so far are in order. They are just requesting for a guided policy.
Okay.
They are just requesting for a comprehensive policies that will guard the operation of Article 146, as in that will guard the president when it comes to invoking the powers under Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. So I don't see the need, honestly, for this criticism. And I would say it is very unfortunate. The bar should have been commended rather. Yes, they should have been commended rather.
But
Isn't
it surprising? I mean, not just under this administration of the Ghana Bar Association, that previous invocations of Article 146, the association went silent. Those invocations saw the removal of former IC chair, for instance, Charlotte Osei. The Ghana Bar Association was silent.
Okay.
Why is the Ghana Bar Association finding its voice now? Didn't you see anything wrong with previous invocations? Why does it find anything wrong with this particular invocations? And the president did not air, did he?
The president did not air. This current decision to remove the Chief Justice.
I'm asking, yeah.
I feel procedurally it is so wrong.
Okay.
And the punishment meted out to the Chief Justice was so uncalled for, as in considering the allegations that were leveled against her. So then I feel it is so unfair.
Okay.
Yes, that is me. That is what I think. It is so unfair. So then let me go to this. You know, we are not just talking about any ordinary person. We are talking about the fourth highest individual of the land. That is the Chief Justice. We have the President, the Vice President, the Speaker of Parliament, and then the Chief Justice. Yes, so this is the fourth highest individual of the land. Yes. So then why? And it is the position that she occupies is the third arm of government. Not just any position. How many arms of government do we have? People mistakenly compare the position of the Chief Justice to the EC, and no. This one is the third arm of government.
She's the head of the judiciary.
Of course, we just have three arms of government: executive, legislative, and then the judiciary. And she's the head. So then, I see nothing wrong because it is in the constitution of the GBA to ensure the independence of the judiciary. Right. And even before you can become a judge, you have to be a lawyer first, a lawyer of 15 years standing, before you can be called to the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. So then why should they neglect a first and foremost a lawyer who is now a judge, mm-hmm. and then sit idle and do nothing? Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense. And then let me also come down to the allegations leveled against the Chief Justice. I feel that, I don't know whether you've read the foreign policy travel.
I haven't read in detail. I can quickly look it up.
Yes, so I read it. You can read specifically paragraph 9 and then 10. And this policy was formulated way back in 2016, mm-hmm. which has been enjoyed by previous Chief Justices. Mm-hmm. It has even been enjoyed by holders of Article 71. Mm. So then if it was erroneously adapted, and it has been used erroneously, should she be the first person to be charged with in any such outcomes? No, then they should start from all Chief Justices and all Article 71 holders who have enjoyed the benefits under this foreign travel policy. Mm-hmm. So I don't see anything wrong. Let me come to the second allegation. I think it was only the first one that was looked into per the committee's report. Yeah. Yes, but the second one was transferring a judicial officer, which mm-hmm. is in her mandate. Mm-hmm. Let me. I don't know if I can be permitted to read.
Please go ahead.
Article 132 of the 1992 Constitution. Mm-hmm. The Supreme Court shall have supervisory jurisdiction over all courts and over any adjudicating authority, and may, in the exercise of that supervisory jurisdiction, issue orders and directions for the purpose of enforcing or securing the enforcement of its supervisory. Yes. So then, if she feels that someone is underperforming, mm-hmm. and then ask the person to be transferred, what is so wrong about it? What is so wrong about it? Isn't it here in the Constitution as part of her duties? And then let me also move on to the last petition, which says that she recommended some Court of Appeal judges to be appointed into the Supreme Court. Were they appointed in the long run? No, they were not appointed. Mm-hmm. So what is the offense here? What is the offense here? That this Chief Justice should be treated so unfairly. And I feel that this was just to score to have political scores, because I remember on countless occasions that was promised on political campaign platforms that when the NDC comes to power, the Chief Justice is going. It was all over, and they promised their grassroots. But it is quite unfortunate for such a precedent to be added to the jurisprudence of this country. It is so unfortunate. Let's consider if
so.
MPP...
You are asking for the travel policy.
Yes. So
I have that, especially even for the judiciary. Okay. I don't know which one, which part.
Paragraph 9.
Okay. The Chief Justice shall undertake unlimited official travels with either his or her spouse or other person of his or her choice in a year, fully funded by the Judicial Service.
Okay, can you read paragraph 10 also?
Well, the Chief Justice is accompanied by the spouse or other person. He or she shall travel on the same class of air ticket as the Chief Justice and shall be paid the equivalent of half the per diem paid the Chief Justice.
Okay. So, Lily, you are not a lawyer.
No, I'm not.
Does this need legal explanation? Isn't it raw English? Mm-hmm. Isn't it open for the layman to understand this? Is this difficult to understand? So where was the breach? Where was the breach? It is so unfair. Just come to think of it. The little said about it, the better. It is so unfair. And what pains me is such a bad precedent is forming part of our jurisprudence as a country. And come 2028, if the MPP, now that our grassroots are also very agitated about this unfair removal, comes to power and also say that they are removing the incumbent Chief Justice, what then happens? So it will just be back and forth, political vendetta, back and forth.
Oh, so you think
it
this
is
is
so
a political
unfortunate.
vendetta?
Of course. That is, if we the NPP also come to repeat the same thing, then it is political vendetta because, you do me, I do you. You do me, I do you. It is most unfair. And unfortunately, it has been added to our jurisprudence. So going forward, I don't know, probably we should be guided. And then I'll go to the allegations of Charlotte Osei. Yes, if I may be permitted to.
Please go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so then she was first accused of unilaterally awarding contracts. As I know, she was the head of the Electoral Commission, and you can't unilaterally award contracts. At least you should do consultation with your members before you can award contract. But she was unilaterally awarding contracts, which is against the rules. And then she could award contracts in huge sums of dollars just for biometric registration devices alone. The amount of dollars I can't even quote. Very huge amounts. She was also alleged to have breached procurement. She was renegotiating contracts without involving other members of the commission. And this is unfortunate. So this is her second allegation. The third allegation, financial mismanagement. Allegations including spending 3.9 million to partition an office. How on earth? 3.9 million just to partition an office, not even build, to partition an office. And then the fourth one is abuse of office. She was accused of compromising the independence or neutrality of the commission, engaging in approving contracts above the approved threshold. And these figures quoted here in dollars confirms it. How can you just petition an office for about 3.9 million? How on earth? And what kind of office partitioning is that? So these are tangible, substantive allegations that were leveled against Charlotte Osei. Yes, and then let me also go to the Shraj boss, because the AG mentioned Loretta Lamte, the former Shraj boss, and then Charlotte Osei. This Shraj boss was renting. Just come to think of it, was renting, and then was renting and then paying this amount. What? $148,000 just for rent for 33 months. How much do we have in the coffers of Ghana? As in the Bank of Ghana, in the consolidated fund, how much do we have in there for you, one person alone, to pay rent of $148,000 just for 33 months? She also renovated an office and then spent like $180,000 renovating her office in Bangalore. She also stayed in a hotel and paid $400 per day. How on earth? $400 per day.
Okay.
So these are substantive allegations. These are allegations that really define the stated misbehavior and corruption in such high office. But this Chief Justice, we have all read. She was entitled to everything that she did. The payments made to the husband, the daughter, and what marvels me, she even brought balance upon all the money that she was given. She returned some. How many people would have the effrontery to do this? How many public officials would do this? And the president, when he travels, isn't his wife's tickets and accommodation, aren't they catered for? When he travels with the children, aren't they catered for? Parliamentarians, aren't they all catered for? So how come the Chief Justice story is different? How come her story is different?
But parliamentarians' children are not catered for, by the way.
Anyway, probably they don't have it in their policy. But I read that this woman, the one who was part of those who proposed this policy, they compared the existing policies of the president, and then the parliamentarians. So probably there might be something that we don't know. Okay, so let me just speak to what I know. Okay. So then paragraphs 9 and 10, they have confirmed everything. What is so wrong? And even if, excuse me to say, even if they were paid inappropriately, can't they refund the money? She has been truthful enough to present balance. How much more money is that wasn't due her that she can't return? And you know, this matter came before, was brought up by the auditors. And even proud to this very petition, this matter was brought out by the auditors. And per the judicial service reports, the matter was just laid to rest. Because they felt nothing wrong. They saw nothing wrong with the whole thing. There was nothing wrong with it. So then how come? Because it is a campaign promise that, when we come to power, this Chief Justice will go. We have to fulfill it, regardless of the process. And they have fulfilled it. And it is very unfortunate. So now the question that I have for them is, what happens to the accomplices? You know, every misbehavior has accomplices. Charlotte Osei was dismissed with the 2 deputies. So how about the judicial secretary and then the head of finance for the judicial service? Are they not the same people who paid the money? They paid the money. The Chief Justice didn't pay herself. They sponsored they paid it. So then what happens to them? What happens to them? Why should you only single one person? All because, I don't know. All because it's you just want to fulfill your campaign promise. And I'll just say once again that it is very unfortunate. So now, as I've read the sins or the allegations of Charlotte Osei and then Loretta, you would attest to the fact that for them, their dismissal was perfect. You know how.
But was it also a campaign thing for the NPP to come in and remove Charlotte Osei? Because you would also agree that prior to the 2016 elections, there were some elements within the NPP who kept talking about the fact that, Charlotte Osei, when we come, you are gonna.
Oh, anyway, I haven't chanced on any such messages yet. Yes, I haven't.
Okay. Let's move on. There are some messages out. Somebody wants to ask you that if you are aware that a former CJ unilaterally awarded 2 contracts to her own daughter and made the service pay her upfront without executing the job, are you aware?
I refuse to go into that because I'm being guided by the committee's report. Yes, and I didn't see this in the committee's report. Yes, so I refuse to answer that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But you keep
with all due respect.
You keep mentioning campaign promise. I am wondering who gave this promise on any campaign platform and at what point?
That the Chief Justice was a goner.
Yes.
Oh, I heard it. You know, I heard it. It was all over social media. I think But
does that authenticate the fact that it is a campaign promise?
You know, at a point in time, I don't know. You know, there are certain conversations that I'm privy to because of probably my position, and I wouldn't want to say it here. But, you know, I can say on authority that this act of the president was to fulfill a campaign promise. Yes.
Was to
fulfill a campaign promise.
Okay. And the president promised to remove her? Is that what you're saying?
You know, let me just...
That per the information you have, because you say you are privy to information that we're not. I'm asking, per the information you have, the president at the time, flag bearer, mentioned in certain quarters that Madam Gertrude Arbe Sabasaki Tokuno was going to be removed.
You know, I won't just tag the president alone. I heard on campaign platforms of the NDC, campaign platforms, not even on a single platforms, that the Chief Justice is a goner when the NDC assumes power. I heard it vividly. And I wouldn't want to pinpoint or call out names. But this is my stance. This is what I heard. And this is what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay. Let's move on and talk about the Galamsey fight. The Catholic Bishops' Conference asking the president to declare a state of emergency. President Mohammed says that that will obviously be the final resort.
That will be the final resort. So right now, what is he doing?
He says that there are already measures in place to fight Galamsey. There are things in the pipeline that will effectively tackle the illegal mining measures.
And are the measures effective enough?
They are just 8 months into office.
They are just 8 months into office, and reports. There are reports that the situation has worsened.
Okay.
Just 8 months. It has worsened. The last time I overheard a conversation which someone was saying that the Ghana water now has to use a triple amount of money they were using to purify the water, to purify now. I think they have to triple the amount because of the nature, the deteriorated nature of the water. So that, you know, when they were in opposition, what were they saying? Why are they saying something different now? Aren't they in government? When they were in opposition, they were pushing the president to issue what? State of emergency. So then what has changed? What has changed? Are they the ones buying the gold from the illegal miners? Are they the ones buying the gold from the illegal miners? So why can't they issue the state of emergency? Something that they
The gold
have.
is being bought from small-scale miners and not the illegal miners.
That
is what we're told.
That what?
The gold is being bought from small-scale miners. And you know that small-scale mining is legal.
So then what happens to the Galamsey's gold? You know, we can't sit here and pretend. This is Ghana for you.
Okay.
Probably that is where they are getting their cheap gold from. So then they can't declare state of emergency. Because I remember there were demonstrations. By then I know a professor of GHOne who is now quiet because probably he now lives on the sea. And so is unaware of what is happening on the ground. So he's now quiet. Their mouths are full now, so they are now quiet. They are eating. When we eat, we don't talk. I appreciate it. But what has changed? They are now in power. What President Akufo-Addo didn't do, they claim that they can do it. So why are they delaying? Why the delay?
Okay.
Why the delay? They knew they couldn't do it, and then they deceived Ghanaians. I will say that, you know, they came into power through facade. let me just use that. You know, they came to power by telling lies, you know, by exaggerating matters and all that. And now, you know, let us give time some time. Now the truth is what? Unfolding. They are being exposed.
How is the truth unfolding? President Akufo-Addo put his presidency on the line, didn't he? President Mohammed has not put his presidency on the line. He's only said that declaration of a state of emergency is the last resort. There are measures in place. If it fails, then I will declare state of emergency. Is that not justified?
Justified in what sense, my dear Lily? This can't be justified in any way. The situation has worsened. Go to Mensah and then see. All the rivers in Ghana here are polluted. So then, now I recently heard that even Cape Coast, they don't have water. A lot of areas don't have water.
Waterworks has been shut down.
Look at this. Was it shut down during Akufo-Addo's time? Was it, Lily? Was it shut down?
Galamsey start 8 months ago?
Please. I just answered. Was it shut down? Was it shut down during Akufo-Addo's time? So why now? Because the situation has what? Worsened. Okay. It has worsened. It is long overdue for a declaration of what? State of emergency. They wanted state of emergency. They are now in power. So they should stop the blame game. This is the reason why some Ghanaians voted for them. They thought probably Akufo-Addo, who has even put a presidency online, wasn't doing enough. But they in opposition would come and do wonders. And hence gave them the mandate. So I'm pleading with His Excellency, Mr. Dramani Mahama. I wouldn't want water shortage to be here in Accra. I wouldn't want it to get to that. He he should be up and doing. He should declare the state of emergency he so much desired in opposition. He should declare it now.
But did President Mohammed at any point tell Ghanaians that he will declare a state of emergency? Did he at any point?
No.
I do not remember. I do not recall.
What is good for the Ganda or what is good for the geese is equally good for the Ganda. You were proposing state of emergency under Akufo-Addo's administration. So he proposing it means that he felt it was the ultimate solution. He felt it was what was going to end the whole issue of Galamsey. And Akufo-Addo refused. Hence, Ghanaians voted them out. You are now in power. So just fulfill your wishes. You wished it then in opposition. So make it a reality now.
But he says that he's put measures in place. Is it that the only thing the NPP wants is a declaration of a state of emergency or to tackle the illegal mining menace in its entirety? Because the declaration of a state of emergency comes with its attendant effects. I'm sure you know that. Yesterday, interestingly, I read a post by a military officer. He's non-partisan, by the way. I'll not mention his name, but it's all over Facebook. He mentioned the security implications of what a declaration of a state of emergency will bring to the country. Maybe I can enumerate a few. He said some of the things that usually happen include: 1, more power to security agencies, and he explains further by saying the military and the police take stronger control to maintain law and order. 2, restriction on freedom, movement, public gatherings, and even what can be said in public may be limited. Curfews and checkpoints. People may have to stay indoors at certain times and vehicles will be searched more often. 4, use of resources. Government can take over private vehicles, fuel, or other supplies to support operations. 5, stronger presence of soldiers and police. You will see more patrols. Now, he goes on to say, the aim of this is not to punish people, but to restore peace and stability as fast as possible. But there are also challenges. Security officers may abuse their power, harass people, or use unnecessary force. Curfews and movement bans can disturb business, farming, trading, and school. I'm sure you know that a number of these areas are farming communities.
And are they farming? Now that the land has been turned outside, are they farming?
But have they stopped farming? I don't recall.
Are they farming?
Markets may close, transport of goods may slow, and prices could go up. These are a number of the things, among many. There are a number of things. He also talks about anxiety and fear affecting daily life and community trust. So the question again is it the declaration of state of emergency that the NPP wants, or the tackling of the illegal mining menace?
The declaration of the state of emergency will hasten the procedure for tackling illegal mining. That is what I would say. What is more important than water? All this, the effects you've enumerated. Is it more important than getting water to drink? Water is life. So regardless of the side issues of state of emergency declaration, we should consider what is most important, what is most prominent. And we getting safe water, as in hygienic water to drink, is
paramount.
It's paramount.
Okay.
And it should be the priority of the government.
But I am wondering, what stopped President Akufo-Addo at the time from declaring a state of emergency? If you're saying that water is life, health and safety is paramount, what stopped President Akufo-Addo at the time? Does it mean that he didn't see the need?
No.
Or because the NDC at the time, some elements within the NDC mentioned that President Akufo-Addo should declare a state of emergency. So it's now payback time for the NPP to say that, okay, you said we should declare, so you to declare. Is that it?
I think if it were to be Akufo-Addo's era, that the Galamsey has gotten to where it is now, no one would even prompt him to declare a state of emergency. No one would do that.
Okay.
He would do it by himself without any coercion, without any push-off. He would do it by himself. So I wonder, the lackadaisical attitude of the NDC.
Environmentalists were calling for a state of emergency. But you say that President Akufo-Addo would have done it, but he didn't do it. What was the challenge?
Lily, I'm saying that at Akufo-Addo's time, there wasn't any closure of dam.
Okay.
There wasn't any closure of dam. And measures were still in place fighting this. But if the intensity of the degradation was then as now, he would have declared a state of emergency. He would have, without a second thought. Because I know that he's a caring president, a president who listens to the cry of Ghanaians, a president who laughs.
But he didn't
laughs
listen to his
Ghanaians.
ministers when they were calling for a reshuffle at the time.
Lily.
No, but you're saying, I mean, you're enumerating his attributes.
Lily.
I'm only asking.
Lily, he listens.
Okay.
Except
But he
that,
failed to listen to his MPs. Okay.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Probably he was weighing things. You know, you can't just be jumping into conclusions just like that.
But he also didn't listen to Ghanaians when we said that we didn't want the e-levy.
Yes, but now e-levy and d-levy, which one do you want? Then we didn't want e-levy, but now most Ghanaians are praying that the e-levy should come for d-levy to go.
Is that what Ghanaians told you?
Of course.
Okay.
I am a Ghanaian, and I am saying
I have not seen
for
any
myself.
research that suggests that Ghanaians want a reintroduction of the e-levy. Maybe we need to commission reporters out there.
Not a reintroduction. We should replace the d-levy with the e-levy because the d-levy is more expensive. That is what a lot of Ghanaians are saying. I don't know whether you've watched the commentaries of some trotro drivers, some passengers, a lot of people.
I'm sure my assignment editor is watching. After this segment, he should commission a reporter out there. Let's engage trotro drivers. Let's find out the sentiments.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I really appreciate that. Right. Thank you very much as well for coming.
Lily.
So that's Joyce Owusu-Abefe. This time I didn't call her Philippa. She's a private legal practitioner and a member of the NPP communications team. That should do for the breakfast review. After this, we'll talk some health. Please stay tuned in. My name is Lily Mohammed. Welcome back to the show. This is GH Today, your perfect morning companion on television. It's now time for Health Alert. This morning, we're creating awareness on cervical cancer and HPV vaccination. And I've been joined in studio by Dr. Selim Kuchwati. She's acting Program Manager for Expanded Program for Immunization at the Ghana Health Service, and Dr. Hilda Mantibiaboy, she's President of the Pediatric Society of Ghana. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, doctors. It's good to have you. How are we doing?
We're well, thank you.
Right. Let's just walk into the conversation. HPV. A lot of people hear HPV, they think, oh, this is alien. It's not something that I can easily get. But we learn that it is sexually transmitted. How common is this?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Dr. Kuchwati.
HPV is quite common. And in fact, we expect that about 80% of women would have had HPV by the time they turn 25. And
What?
HPV.
By 25?
Yes, you would have encountered it. It's that common, and it's typically asymptomatic. So it's not like you're going to get it and then you will know you have it. The thing with HPV is that when you have it, you don't know you have it, and most people will clear HPV without any symptoms. The challenge is that some people do not clear the HPV. The HPV remains within their body and then becomes a chronic persistent infection, which then goes on after so many years to become cervical cancer in women.
For HPV, I know that women are prone to it. At what point can any woman detect, or it is something that can only be detected at the lab?
So HPV can only be detected in the lab. So there are different tests that have come now. Some of them do, when you do the pap smear, they'll take some cells and check for what they call HPV DNA. Some people also say they can check in urine. I've seen some people saying they can check in blood. But there are various tests that can be done. There's no way you would know whether you've had HPV or not without a test.
And what are the things that HPV causes, the conditions that arises after contracting the HPV?
All right, so
Dr. Hill.
Like she said, for many women, you will not notice or know that you have had HPV because you are not likely to have any symptoms that will tell you that you have had the HPV infection.
Unlike other STIs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, like you rightly said, you can get it through sexual contact and also just contact. So, if the germs or the viruses are present and you have a contact with it, even if not through sex, you could still, but it's mainly sexually.
No. I like that.
Okay, let me not.
So that a lot of people out there may not be scared. Help us understand. Okay. So contact, how?
Yes, so contact. If the virus is there, let me just use the example of the flu viruses or cold. You know, if somebody has a cold, the person sneezes. If maybe it's on the surface and you have contact with it, you could get it. But let's focus on the sexual transmission, yes, to prevent misinformation or people from getting confused. So mainly through sexual contact. And
what of the washrooms? If somebody who has HPV has used the washroom, because now people may be worried. You know, are they susceptible?
That is also possible, but then mostly through sexual contact. And so again,
exchange.
Good hygiene is important when you go to the washrooms, especially public washrooms. But then let's focus on the sexual contact.
Okay.
So like we said, you are not likely to have any symptoms. And for those who have the persistent HPV infection, they may go on to have the cervical cancers for the women. You could also have anal cancers or mouth cancers, throat cancers, penile cancers for the men. So it's not just for the women. The women could have these cancers, and the men could also have those cancers. Of course, men do not have cervixes or the cervix. And if you say cervix, that is like the opening of the womb. Okay, so that's the part that we call the cervix, and it could have cancer from the HPV infection. And then for the men, the penile cancers, the others, the mouth, the throat, the anal ones, could be for both. So these are the things. And for the woman to know that she has cervical cancer, she could start having bleeds in between her periods, or could have a vaginal discharge which is bloody, which is also offensive or smelly. And there's something we call pain during coitus or during sex. So during sex, they may have more pain than usual for them. And then some people may also have bleeding after menopause or in between their menses. So these are the things that will let somebody know that they may have cervical cancer. But again, we do not want people to get to the point where they have these symptoms of cervical cancer. And that is why we are here.
To educate people on HPV. But now that you mentioned cervical cancer, well, we are women. Today is Wednesday. Wednesdays are for Women Crash Wednesday, right? So let's talk about, as women, things that affect us. Cervical cancer, in a layman's term, is it cancer of the cervix? Is that what it means?
Yes.
Okay. And what does it mean? Cancer of the cervix, what does it mean for anybody out there?
So basically what it means is that the cells of the cervix have grown beyond their normal size and the way they operate. So it's what you call a tumor.
Okay.
Or an abnormal growth. Cancer is synonymous with a tumor and abnormal growth. So the cells have just grown abnormally. That's why it's called cancer of the cervix.
What are the risk factors for the development of cervical cancer?
For people who have sex early, so if you start having sex as a teenager or at a very young age, your chances of having cervical cancer go up. If you have multiple sexual partners, your chances also go up. And if you also have sex with someone who has multiple sexual partners, your chances go up as well. If you have any problem with your immune system, so the soldiers that help to fight infections or diseases in the body, if there's any problem with that, your chances could also go high. So an example of that, if you have HIV, AIDS, or you are on medication that brings down your immune system, that also increases your chances of having cervical cancer. And then generally, if you haven't been vaccinated, then you are at a higher risk of getting the cancer than someone who has been vaccinated.
And I want to add that smoking as well is a big risk factor. And that's
what about alcohol intake?
So alcohol intake would also is known to cause cancers.
Okay.
But those things, let me use the alcohol. Alcohol would predispose you to risky sexual behaviors, which can lead you to cervical cancer. Cigarettes by themselves can lead you to having cervical cancer. And that's a big issue for us now because we have the youth doing shisha. Shisha is tobacco.
Hammer on it.
And that is also a risk factor. So if you're a young lady who started having sex early, is having multiple sexual partners, or sexual partners who have multiple sexual partners, and you are smoking and you are drinking, your risk is multiple times. So that's quite something we should really look at.
But is cervical cancer preventable?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. So the main prevention is through the vaccination.
The HPV.
The HPV vaccination. The risk factors that we mentioned. If you don't start sex early, if your immune system or the soldiers that help to fight infection are strong, if you are faithful to one partner and your partner does not have multiple sexual partners. So all those initial things that we mentioned, that's increasing your risk of having cervical cancer. Also, once you work on them, you reduce your risk. But the main thing is the HPV vaccination, because you cannot always guarantee that you will be able to reduce the risk in the other things that we mentioned. So once you are vaccinated, you know that you are protected.
Okay.
Yes.
So who can get vaccinated?
So currently, anybody who so the program starts. Anybody who goes to test for an adult, 25 and above, who tests for HPV DNA and is negative can get the vaccine. But for what we want to do in the program is that we want to do it at a time where we expect that most of the girls have not had their sexual debut. So we are looking at age 9.
Okay.
And this is actually an age that has been researched across the world, and other countries who have started cervical cancer vaccination also start from age 9. And in other countries, it's both boys and girls. But for us, because we are focusing more on cervical cancer as the vehicle to drive the vaccination, we are doing age 9. The campaign we are going to do age 9 to 14 to catch up some of the girls, because we are expecting that between 9 and 14, some of the girls still wouldn't have had sexual debut. But we're not going to use that as a disqualification for the girls. Whatever it is, age 9 will give you the vaccination, and then with the one shot, you are protected.
And when is this vaccination drive starting?
We're launching it on the 7th of October, 2025, and we'll have the campaign doing 5 days. So Tuesday to Saturday, we'll focus Tuesday to Friday on girls in school. And then on Saturday, we'll look at the out-of-school girls, because typically the age 9 to 14 are supposed to be in school. We have free education, so most of those girls will be there. But we do know that there are some who are not in school. For instance, there are some girls who come and work as head porters. Those girls are the ones we'll target, and a few who are in the houses and communities who are not in school. So we'll target them on the Saturday and possibly on the Sunday to do a bit of a mop-up. But that is what we intend to do. So the campaign is going to be quite intensive. We are going to immunize, we're going to register the girls ahead of the exercise, and then we'll go to the schools based on the schedule we develop with the various schools, and then we'll immunize the girls. We've actually engaged GES and the private schools groups on this exercise. So we hope that this rollout will be smooth.
And for persons out there who have not been vaccinated, even for adult women, why is it necessary to get HPV now?
Because if you get it, it helps to reduce your risk. The earlier you have the vaccination, the more protection you have ultimately. But then even if you are older than the 14 years, you can still have the vaccination, except that for the program that we're doing now, we are targeting the 9 to 14 years. So those outside those age ranges who want to can see their healthcare professionals within the hospitals, get tested and get their vaccinations done. But those will be at their own cost. The government is not going to do it for them for free. And I must say that the HPV vaccination has actually been available in the country for over 10 years. Yes, but
I think a lot of people are not aware. People, we do not want information, so we're not getting information.
We've had so many pilots. In fact, there was a pilot that the First Lady, in fact, then she was First Lady, and she is still First Lady now. Her Excellency Lord Mahama launched in Dodowa in 2013, where we did some work with the girls, and that was supposed to see whether it was feasible and acceptable. Also look at the safety profile. And in fact, it's been over 12 years now since that pilot. We've done so much work, we have so much data. It's just been that, you know, this thing, the vaccine is quite expensive. So the country has to be at a point where we can afford it, and we can afford it going forward. It shouldn't just be, we'll come and then there'll be shortages. So it took quite a bit of time to get this done, but thankfully this year, everything has gone through. The stars have aligned. We've even received the vaccines that are required in country already. They arrived in June. So we have enough vaccine to be able to take care of the girls during the campaign, and when subsequently goes into routine immunization, that is at the normal health centers where we do what we call weighing. You can walk in with your 9-year-old girl and they'll give her the vaccine.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that it was launched somewhere in 2013. Do parents readily avail their wards for vaccination?
Oh, yes.
Especially for the rural areas.
That is the challenge. The big barrier has been cost, because it's available in Accra. I cannot mention any of the facilities because I don't want to seem like I'm advertising for vaccine. Exactly. But it's available in all the vaccination centers in Accra, the international ones, and those who do cervical cancer testing. They all have the vaccine available. But the issue has been cost. And in those centers, people in fact, I know people who have vaccinated both their boys and girls. Because they have the money, they have the knowledge, and they know the value of the vaccine. But the government, knowing that the average person, probably in my village, would never be able to afford the vaccine, has gone forward and decided that they're going to take up those costs and bring the vaccine to the doorstep of everybody. So now it's going to be quite equitable. It's no longer the money or the cost of the vaccine will no longer be a barrier to preventing the girls from getting cervical cancer.
Are there side effects when you take the HPV vaccine?
Yes, so what we found is that most girls don't have side effects. What the side effects we have noticed have been what I would call the usual effects with injectable vaccines.
Okay.
So pain at the site, there may be some swelling, headache, tummy pain, but none has been serious to the point of requiring medication. Because I told you we've done some pilots in Ghana, and we followed those girls up to check if there are issues. And that was like active following, to calling to make sure that, how are you feeling today? Do you have any issues? We follow them up, and we have data for Ghana. And also bear in mind that this vaccine has been licensed in Ghana for over 10 years. FDA has been doing safety monitoring for it. We have not had anybody having any major side effects from it. It's just the usual, what I call the usual ones.
Okay.
And then again, for the targeted group, now we are working on the girls. But once we are able to protect the girls, somehow there will be what we call herd immunity. Many more people will become protected. And if you talk about sexual activity, which is the main route through which people are going to get the infection, they do it with men or boys. So if the people who would have sent it to the boys, or the boys who would have sent it to the girls, are protected, then it means that they are not likely, the boys are not likely to pick it as much as they would have picked if the girls were not protected. So generally, many more people are going to be protected, and hopefully as we go on into the future and we are able to secure funding and all, we could then extend to the boys. So no alarm that the boys are not being included at this time. They are on our minds, and by all means, once our girls are being protected, we are all covered somehow.
Okay, yeah, it's been great having you. So that's Dr. Selom Kuchwati. She's acting program manager for the expanded program for immunization with the Ghana Health Service, and Dr. Hildaman Tibiabo is president for the Pediatric Society of Ghana. That's it for Health Alert. When I come back, we head to the tech world.
All right, thank you so much for staying on with us here on GH Today. And we're talking about, I'm sure if you're watching GHOne television and also listening to us on Star, you might have heard about that art that talks about some proper relaxation happening very soon. It's Journey to the West, and I'm excited about it. And of course, Cecil Sovereign is joining me here to shed some more light on that particular trip and why you need to be a part of that. So, Cecil, welcome.
Thank you, bro. Good to see you.
I'm excited to see you talking about Journey to the West.
More than excited myself.
So talk to me. I mean, from the ad, we know that we're exploring 2 regions.
Sure.
But why are we doing that?
Okay, so amazingly, most people would take their holidays and fly out of the country. They are in Ghana and they do not even know we have wonderful sites here in Ghana. So we wanted to begin gradually by exploring the whole of the country called Ghana.
Right.
Then we are starting with 2 regions for this very trip. So we are going to the western region, then we do the central region.
Amazing. Yeah. Western and central region. Exactly. You know, they say the best comes from the west.
Exactly. So that's how come we have the name Journey to the West.
Journey to the West.
Hopefully next year when we want to add 2 more regions, and I was even fighting with the sales team. How do we couch it now? Because Journey to the West is for central, western, western off. So if you are going to add maybe eastern region and the Volta region, how do we now couch it?
That one there.
That's for the marketing.
By the time we get there, we'll know.
Exactly.
Amazing. So talk to me about what is happening on this journey, on this trip, and when are we going?
Great. So come next week, Friday, 26th to 28th, which is Friday to Sunday. We will all converge here, those who want to be part of it, converge here at the GHOne studios, or the premises for that matter. Then we all leave early in the morning. We go straight to the western region where we're going to tour some very interesting sites. So in all, we have the Inzulezu Silt Village. That will be my first. I've not gone there before, so I'm also looking forward to it.
Place.
Great. We also have the Asanteman Slave Market. We also have the Bisa Abrewa Museum. We have the Kakum National Park. We have the Elmina, as well as the Cape Coast Castles. But in between these tourist sites that we'll be visiting, we also have some activities on the side, like the bonfire night, we have the karaoke night, we have a nice dinner for our patrons who will join us. And like we have said, from Friday 26th to Sunday the 28th, we move on this trip with all those who will be joining. We have the rates. So if you want to go and you are like Josh who would want to stay in the room alone, you pay 3,990 cedis, which covers everything.
3,990 cedis?
Yes, please. Just bring your bag with your...
For two regions?
Yes.
Transportation, food, accommodation.
And we are sleeping in the best of hotels. I mean, Busia Beach Resort as well as the Elmina Beach Resort.
Wow.
Yes.
And for less than 4,000 cedis.
Exactly.
I want to be alone.
Yes. Just pick a small bag, pick your clothing, your toiletries, and let's go. Don't have to bring anything, biscuits or drink. Just come and join. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything is sorted.
Hey, Cecil.
2 nights, 3 days.
Wow.
Yes.
And for just cool 3,990.
Yes. If you don't mind sharing a room, so we'll have 2 beds in there. You have 3,490 cedis. So you get to save 500 cedis if you were going to be alone, single. So once you are okay to share a room, and of course, male, female.
No cross-pollination.
If you are also coming with your spouse,
yes,
you get to pay 6,690 cedis. Yes,
right,
for the whole package. Like we've said, just pack your bags and let's go.
Amazing. And this is happening from next week Friday to Sunday. So talk to me about who can be a part of this trip.
Anyone and everyone. I remember 2-3 months ago during the Father's Day, the women were fighting us. Why only the men? And that also affected us. So this one, it is open. Whether you are single, whether you are dating, courting, you are married, just call us. So you can reach us on 05486 18900, 05486 18900, or 055 1565 708.
Right, so-
055 1565 708.
So it's on your screens now. Quickly call the number because, you know, very limited seats available.
Exactly.
And the people are calling in thick and fast. You've been working from January till date. This is the time to give yourself a treat. And the numbers are on your screens. Pick them and put the call through now. If you call Cecil's line, then it's you know, the line is busy. Don't give up. Try calling more and make sure that you get through and be a part of this package. From the 26th to the 28th, Journey to the West, you are eating free. You are going free, sleeping in the top of hotels freely, and then you are also getting to visit all these tourist sites for a cool 3,990. Charlie, very, very cheap, because one night here in Accra, you can't afford. Absolutely. So, Cecil, your final words to the people of Ghana watching us.
Please join us as we explore Ghana. And like you said, we're starting with 2 regions, Western and the Central region. Once we do this very well, next year we'll add 2 more regions to it, and we'll do it incrementally till we are able to cover the whole of Ghana. So please join us, 05486 18900. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Cecil, thank you.
You're welcome.
And we can't wait to join you on this trip. And if you know Cecil's trips, Charlie, enjoyment throughout. All right, so let's get some good music. Right after that, we'll jump into some more interviews. Stick and stay with us. Out of this experience, but let's talk tech now. And the University of Mines and Technology is doing some amazing work in this tech space, and it's quite exciting because we're going to talk about that pretty soon. I've been joined in studio this morning by two gentlemen and one lady from the school. I have Michael Brimfi, who is Business Development Manager at the University of Mines and Technology, Takwa. Also, Beatrice Apia Annan and Jeffrey Ofedako. They are student innovators. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing well.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, some amazing stuff you're doing there. Let me start with you, Mr. Brimfi. So, what motivated the university basically to get into this partnership with Anglo-Good Asante to take on this quite interesting?
Thank you so much, and then good morning to your viewers. There's been a call over the years for some time now that academia and industry will have to collaborate to develop some of the solutions for our industries and also for the nation as a whole. So this year, we partnered with Anglo-Good Asante, where Adwapre mine, the one in Takwa, where they brought a problem from the mine that university and academia will have to provide a solution for it.
Okay.
And so the motivation is mainly because of this academia-industry relationship. And the problem was to do with solving a problem of internet connectivity in fleet management and fatigue management. So people are on their mine working, driving, they get tired, they have to monitor their fuel and the vehicles and how drivers are behaving. And internet sometimes causes a problem. So instead of the control room getting the feed from the field, there are interruptions. Right. So how do university come up with a solution to solve this? And that was the main problem. And then we were able to welcome it. And then we put this amazing team of students together. It was actually on a competition basis.
Wow.
And they developed something wonderful, which we will be showing.
Absolutely. Okay, so Beatrice, how's the experience for you being a part of this whole thing, knowing that, something amazing that you have to bring your technological bearings to mind?
Okay, so participating in this hackathon was an enriching experience for me because it served as a space for my team and I to think critically to solve a real-world problem facing the mining industry. So I didn't see this as just a competition, but also as a growth phase. And then it made me creative and also provided me with hands-on experience.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey, for you?
I think that when it comes to students' hackathons and competitions, to me, I see them as an opportunity for you to now translate whatever that you are learning inside the classroom into something practical and something rewarding.
Okay.
This was actually not my first hackathon. I competed in 100, and then I've been through a series of other students' competitions. So this, for me, was yet another opportunity for me to come up with an ingenious idea to solve a real-world problem this time around, and it was very, very exciting.
And talk to me about the process and being able to come up with that idea to solve that real-world problem.
Okay, so when it comes to students' hackathons and challenges like this, the first thing that you need to do fundamentally is to make sure that everyone in your team understands what you are trying to solve. So after the instructor had read the question, we again read the questions amongst ourselves, and everyone tried to explain how they think they understood the question. So from there, we had to iron out all the differences to make sure that we're all on the same wavelength and we all understood what was required of us as a team. Then from there, we now came up with possible solutions that we thought could solve the problem. And then alternatively, we settled on LoRa technology, which we will dive in later on. But then with getting to know the base solution to the problem, we now divided the tasks amongst each other based on our expertise. So we had some working on the software aspect of our solution, and then two of us worked on the software aspect, and then the remaining 3 worked on the hardware, and at the end of the show, we were able to emerge winners.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Exciting things there, especially when I see young people doing amazing things. But Beatrice, talk to me about internet connectivity. What was your reaction when we were told, okay, this is it? Internet disruptions in the mine space and all of that. What was the reaction like?
Okay, so at first I was tensed. Okay, but after reading through the problem statement and then my team coming together to share ideas, and then we came up with a vast we came up with a lot of solutions like Jeffrey mentioned. Yeah. So after that, I gained enough confidence that at the end of the day, we'll come up with something meaningful. Yeah.
You're talking as though throughout, I'm listening to the two of you, so you didn't have any problems at all.
No, we
but
didn't.
were there some challenges you encountered?
Yeah. So our solution was in two phases.
Okay.
That is the hardware phase and then the software phase. So the software was working perfectly, but for the hardware, we were facing inconsistencies with the functionalities of the devices we were using. So all of a sudden, the ESP32 stopped working, and you could tell like how disappointed we were. So we managed to change it. We came with a lot of them. Yeah. So we changed, but it proved futile. So we went in for another alternative. That was a Raspberry Pi, and then that one worked.
Let's pretend I understand what you just said. But Jeffrey, I mean, you emerged top, really. Walk me through the process of your technology and how that works.
Okay, so fundamentally, we've come to understand that in the mining communities, they have issues with internet when they want to take data from the field or to the control room where they are. So as part of our solution, if you could go back to the previous...
Let's go back to the earlier image.
Yes. So we used this image as part of our presentation.
Okay.
And we divided the field into 4 different regions. Top left, top right, down left, down right. And we explained the solution based on certain hypotheses. So let's say that region A has stable internet. B, little unstable. Once you have a vehicle, you get there, we don't really get the feed from you. Then there is region C and there is region D. So let's assume that A, C, and D has internet, but only B doesn't have internet. So as you move from A through to B, we lose you in that regard. So instead of coming up with a new solution that would try to like overhaul or rip whatever they have and then bring something new, we thought of a solution that can be integrated into what they already have. So if you are using MTN, why don't we come up with a different communication network that we can put on the translation layer so that when we want to move data from the field inside a region where there is no connectivity, we can reroute the data through the new offline-based channel to the server room. And that is what LoRa does. LoRa is an offline communication technology. So LoRa is going to sit on the current telecommunication network that they have. So if you are moving data through A to B and there is no internet, immediately we reroute it and then it passes through the LoRa technology. Then it goes into the cloud for the control room to get it. But in doing that, we were able to put strategic transmitters and gateway inside the field. So in the regions where we don't have internet, it still means that when we send the data, it's not going to the control room at the same place. So we use the advantage of knowing places where we know there is internet. So if you, for instance, have data that you want to send and you feel you don't have internet connectivity, pass it through a different machine that has this LoRa inside of it.
No, I don't want you to talk, please, and people stay idea. but listening to these beautiful ideas and going through the entire process, seeing the amazing things that the students are bringing, what was your impression?
In fact, for students to on their feet, you are read a challenge to, and on your feet, develop something. If they play the video, you see where we mimicked a mining site. If the video can show a mining site, and then place your gadgets there instantly and come out with a solution is really amazing, as you can see. So they had to mimic it using cardboard and these gadgets. And so on your feet, you have to do this. And they came out with very wonderful solutions, which the mining can actually apply. And then, so the next phase is that is where we are going. So they were very impressive, and it's not surprising that they came.
Unfortunately, we need to wrap up the conversation. But after this, after seeing all of this, what's next?
Yeah, so now we're going on the mining field, that's Anglo-Gold Ashanti Iduaprim, to now situate the solution and then gather more data to further develop this technology.
Absolutely.
And so that it doesn't become a shelf thing, but something that can be applied. And the wonderful thing about this technology is that it's not only limited to mining. There's an agriculture aspect of it, education and health, which we are going to explore and then expand.
I'm excited about it. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. I wish you all the best, especially you, Beatrice and Jeffrey. I want to see your technology hits up there, and let's be proud of what we're doing here. Amazing. Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey, too, for coming through. Well, so this is it for the tech session of the show. Don't go nowhere. We're crossing over to Mensah, where we have the funeral of the Asante Hima currently ongoing. We'll return and have more interviews right after this. But let's go to Mensah.
Thank you very much, Joshua. We are live right here on GHOne TV, and we are live in Kumasi on grounds at Mensah Palace. And as you know, we are actually seeing and, of course, looking at what is going on grounds. It is the Dotiye of Asante Hima, Nana Amakunedu III, and today happens to be the third day. My name is SB, and I'm here with my colleague Isaac Bediako. Looking at history unfold right here at Mensah. I mean, we are looking at all the histories going on. And as you know, we also have Prof here with us, Teacher Kantanka, who is also a monarchical historian who will help us know a lot more about Asante funeral and the Dotiye. So as I said, Ike Bediako is here with us. Ike, how are you? Welcome.
Very well, SB.
So looking at what is unfolding here on grounds, all about the Dotiye of our Asante Hima Queen Mother, Nana Amakunedu III. I know you've seen a lot unfold, and I know you see a lot going on around here. What are your take on it?
Well, a lot is going on in Mensah Palace. As you can see from the background, traditional leaders have started arriving. The chiefs and other divisional chiefs, paramount chiefs, have started arriving in Mensah Palace, even though Tumfo is not seated yet, but they have started arriving. A lot of them are coming from different regions, especially those coming from the National House of Chiefs. They are coming from different regions. Then the Regional House of Chiefs members who are from Asante region but coming from different towns. You know, these are Omahene, and Omahenes do not live in Kumasi. They have their own towns that they control. That is their jurisdiction that they control. And so a lot of them have started arriving in Mensah Palace. As you can see from the background, there are other groups from the Volta region who are also here performing at the Mensah Palace to also exhibit their traditions and the kind of support that they are offering to the Mensah royal family so far as this particular Dotiye is concerned. And so today we are going to see different kind of traditional performances from the various paramount chiefs that are coming from the various regions. Everyone wants to exhibit, show what represents their tribe, what represents their region. And so they are coming in their full capacity. If the Gonja chief is coming, he wants to exhibit to the Ashantes that Gonja people, this is what we stand for. This is what makes us Gonja people. And so they will be exhibiting those kind of tradition so that people will have a feel of what they represent. So it's a marketing activities for them. It's an opportunity for you to market your tribe and your tradition to the people. Don't forget that tourists are also here. This funeral is not just a funeral, it's also a tourism for people. So it has brought a lot of tourists from various countries, and they are here filming, observing what Asante is all about. They have read about the Asante history, and so they are here to also have a feel of the history that they have read. They want to have the rare feeling of it. And so a lot is going on in Mensah. But you know, we have a resident historian in Mensah Palace in the person of teacher Safo Kantanka. This man has written a lot of books. He's also a teacher, and he's one of the people who are well versed in the Asante history. He is a resident historian in Mensah.
Yeah.
So he will take us through what the Asante funeral is, especially when the Asante say that Dotiye Eye.
Yeah.
Now they are even telling us that Asantes believe that when human being dies, that's not the end of the person. There is another life. And so he will take us through all those things. And so that's why they say that Abrewa ko Akura. They are not telling us that Abrewa Ewu.
Yeah.
So he will tell us the Akura Abrewa ko and what life is there. And so we will get the opportunity to learn a lot of things from Teacher Safo Kantanka, who is seated with us here.
Thank you so much, Ike. And I'm so much excited to have our historian here, who is a monarchical historian. And as you said, he is in-depth in knowledge, knows it all when it comes to history. And today he is taking us down in line when it comes to Asante's, our funeral, and especially what we are experiencing right here, the Dotiye of Asante Hema. So I have here in person a professor who is also popularly known by many as Teacher Kantanka. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, as Ike said, when it comes to Dotiye, I know we've been hearing this a lot, we've been saying it, but what really is the meaning, the understanding when it comes to Asante's Dotiye?
When we say Dotiye, it's a local language, the Chi language.
Yeah.
And a year, there are two different words put together for us to have the Dotiye. The etymology of the word Doti is netie.
I see.
That is sand or earth. It simply means that it is the time that we are going to have the dead buried. And when we bury something, we normally cover it with earth or sand. So that is why to describe a particular kind of a year, we are talking about Dotiye, means the time when the person is going to be buried inside the earth. And then a year, as a matter of fact, is talking about a spiritual and physical seeing off of the dead. It is spiritual and it is physical. It is physical because that is why we have gathered here today to help see off the dead. Where is the dead going? Asante people do not believe that when you die, that is the end. They believe that there is another world where you continue your life. So the spirit takes lead. It is also believed that within the 40 days, when the person has not been buried, that person lives amongst us, observing everything that is going on, and at the end of the 40 days, he will be in the next world. The next world is what we don't see with our naked eyes. But everything that happens in the next world is exactly what is happening in everyday life today. It is for that reason that in the olden days, very, very old time, people agreed to accompany the dead to the astral world. These days, that sort of thing does not exist anywhere because the Constitution of Ghana is what we all abide by. And the Constitution of Ghana does not allow anybody to manhandle, let alone killing somebody for ritual purposes. It does not, and it will not happen.
I see. Ike, before you come in, I know that when it comes to Ashanti's funeral, I mean, there are a lot of symbolism, especially when it comes to the clads we used to, put on to come to such an event. Now, in person, I want to ask you, when it comes to this Dotiye, I mean, looking around, I can see a lot of people in black, and I don't know its symbolism, but I want to ask you, what's attire, what clad are we supposed to use when we are heading towards Mensah for the Dotiye, and is there any symbolism attached to it?
Yes, a year is divided into 3 parts. The 1 week celebration is black. The Dotiye is also black. You see red only when the final funeral rite is being performed. And what is being performed today is not the final funeral rites. The final funeral rites comes on when a new Asante Hima has been elected and installed. Then that is where we are. She's going to help. Going to superintend the funeral together with the Asante. So as long as we have not selected and installed the new Queen Mother, the final funeral rites is not celebrated. What is being celebrated today, or what is being observed today, is the Dotiye burial. And the 1 week celebration and burial is all black. We wear black because we don't believe the person is gone. We believe the person we say is dead is around. So we are demonstrating to death personified. We see death as a person. So death is personified. And we are communicating to the death through our black or brown attire, that we are demonstrating that if there is a way out, then death should resurrect our mother, our grandmother, our sister, our aunts. Now, if that does not help in the resurrection and the person is buried, then we all agree that now we are at full-scale war with death. So death did not listen to us. And that is why we wear red. That is the final funeral rite. You hear the booming of guns. It is to inform death, personified, that if you were to see death eye to eye, all the guns that we are firing would be upon death. So it is a form of communication, telling death and consoling the dead that, but for the power of death, if it were that we see death face to face, we would have massacred death with all the guns that we hear booming.
Now, Prof, you talk about the Asante belief that when you die, that is not the end of your life. You are going to Asamando. And Asamando, there you have a responsibility to play. I went to the palace, the Queen Mother's palace, where I noticed that they were shaving some of the royals, their hair. I mean, and the understanding I got from there is that they are going to bury the queen with those heads, thinking that, or believing that there should be connection between the living and the dead. Why this theory?
You agree with me that even today, when somebody dies outside his or her region, maybe in Europe, the hair and the nails of the person is brought up. When the body is not harmed, it is evidence that a person is passed on. Is to see the fingernails, the toenails, and the hair. This is exactly what happens. This is exactly what happens. People's hair are taken, and fingernails, hairs, fingernails, toenails are all taken, collected together, telling the world and the spiritual world that we are one. Because we are not going to give this hair in parts. We're going to put them all together as one, which is a union. We have all united and in support of the one we sing of to the astral world. So it will be added to the body, to be buried. Now, if this is done, what kind of connection would this establish between the living and the dead? It is a spiritual connection. And the spiritual connection is simply difficult to explain. All that we know is when you do that, just that those alive, people who are alive can sometimes take portions of their blood to people that is a covenant. So it is a covenant between the living and the dead.
I see. Now, Prof, what role do the ancestors of Asante, because once you are buried, now it is believed that you are dead. What responsibility is on the dead, the person who is dead? What is her responsibilities so far as the Asante Kingdom existence is concerned?
It's just like asking, what is the responsibility of the saints when we come to the church? The saints are acting as mediators between the living and the dead and God. Right? The saints who have passed on live in their spirit. It is the same thing that is happening in our tradition. When the person dies, the person moves into the spiritual world. And in the spiritual world, it's more connected to the Almighty God than we who are alive. So we pass our prayers through these saints. If it were a Catholic church or the Anglican church, we call them saints. In the traditional world, they are also saints.
So what are their direct responsibilities?
It is to mediate between the living and the Lord God Almighty. That is why they go to Nkunyadem or the stool house as a sacred place where we invoke, or those who do it invoke the dead. That is those in the spirit. You come and listen to them and then carry the message to the Lord God Almighty. So that is the very work that they do. They mediate, they come in spirit, live among us, and then carry our message to the Lord God Almighty. I see.
Okay, so with us talking about the connectivity between the living and the dead, I want to know, so if, and I stress on the if, the rites is not benefiting well for the Queen Mother, is there any consequences that comes aftermath?
Yes, there are consequences because it happens that sometimes somebody says, I have seen a ghost, I have seen the person who died, I've seen that person in the very body that she or he left in. That is to send us a message that since you have not done everything on the right way or in the right direction, we've come to remind you, or I have come to remind you, that I'm not gone because you have not treated me well. I am not gone. I'm still around, hang around, and then it becomes a feared object living among the people. It is this time that whatever you fail to do must be done and done well to avoid seeing the dead around.
Okay.
Now, Prof, one interesting thing I have also seen when we came to Mensah Palace is a display of the various fetish priests and priestesses who came here on the first day. I understand each of them play traditional role in Mensah, also far as the Asante Kingdom is concerned. But there are a number of fetish priests also in the region. Tell me, what is their responsibility so far as the kingdom is concerned, and what they were doing here on Sunday? What's the meaning?
Well, there is a category of priests. Some are ordinary priests, some are bishops.
Bishops?
Yes. Now, I'm making a comparison.
Okay.
We don't call them bishops, but we know
their position.
Their position.
You equate it to that level.
We equate it to bishop. Like the Aguna Hine and Aguna Hema, that is the queen and the king, or the queen and the paramount chief of Agona.
Who is the Komanoche?
Yes, they are in the realm of bishops. Tepa is also one of them. And then the the Busumuru Hine is also one of them. These are three major bishops that we see around within Ashanti Kingdom. The rest are of the rank of a small priests and then medium-sized priests, or the most senior priests. This is the category of the priests that you saw around. They are called priests. Well, in our local language, they are called Asofo. So Okomfo has another name, Osofo. In modern times, when we say Osofo, we are talking about the Christian priests, or we are talking about the Islamic hierarchy of priests.
With the sheikh.
Right? Yes. So, but in our case, before the coming of the European system or the American system, this is how we graded out our priests. So the shrines that they have are temples. When you are actually equating it to what happens in everyday life today.
So with Tepa Omahene in particular, anytime the fetish priests arrive in the Mensah Palace or the paramount chiefs arrives in Mensah Palace, you see that he is unique in the sense that even within these 4 days, he would dress in white or in a different cloth that does not symbolize mourning. Why does he always look different among them? He and Agona, who is also a priest.
When somebody dies in a church, a member of the church passes on, the reverend minister who is to administer service would certainly be in their gowns, that is cassock. So that is the cassock of Tepahene and Tepahima. That is the cassock of Agurahene and Agurahima. That is the cassock of the Busumuru Hene. They are in their cassock, they don't change. The color of the cassock is white, and they are always in white. They are in the spirit. So what you are seeing and calling it white, in spiritual world, has no color. So, but we living would see we see him wear white.
There are others who are also saying that they played some crucial role in the formation of the Asante Kingdom, and for which reason the Asante wanted them to look different. Can you also explain that bit?
Well, that is, I think, on the surface.
Okay.
A deeper meaning has something more than the surface. What happens is they establish the kingdom, and almost all the kingdoms of Africa were established with the support of priests. If you go to Accra, it's the same thing. If you go to the Everland, it's the same. If you go to Nzema, any part of the Akan, Nzema, Wassa, Sefi, it is the same. The same beliefs, the same meaning, right? In the case of Asante, it appears to be a little different from the others. This is because the others went under the European rule for a very long time, for which reason they have lost portions of their beliefs. Because the European system of governance took away the beliefs of most of what the Africans believe. For example, they were not allowed even to drum. It was called fetish. They were not allowed to dress in black when somebody dies. It is called fetish. Everything that was originally our culture and tradition was changed. It is the Asante that is still keeping some of these things. That is why you may go to other parts of Ghana, the same Akan areas, but it will look different. It looks different because the others have theirs partly destroyed by the
Western education.
By the Western education. You know, even when we were in school in the 60s, we were not allowed to get closer to where culture and tradition was being performed. Now, Asante has not gone under the European for that long. And even there, certain things are destroyed. If you come to the other parts of Ghana, they were under the colonial rule for 200 years, some of them 300 years. And of course, that is the destruction. When you come to Asante, they were under the colonial rule for only 50 years. So they still maintain some of their cultural traditions. So if you don't take care and you destroy your culture, one day you have to go to Europe to learn your own culture. If we are not very careful. It needs a lot of education for people to understand culture, tradition, and the philosophy in culture and tradition. And that is precisely what is happening today. And that is all the more reason why you are here today trying to communicate with the rest of Ghana to know what is happening here is not fetish. It is seeing of our beloved one.
Okay, so Prof, I know that someone may ask, like, chiefs and queen mothers are humans like us, so why are their death treated differently?
Well, they are leaders. You cannot become a saint when you were not once a priest. You are a leader of the church. In the same vein, queen mothers or chiefs are our leaders. So it is our leaders who die and become saints. So every queen mother or chief that passes on whilst in office is a saint. As for the grading of saints, it is done in the spiritual world, whether they are the topmost or at the bottom. Again, sometimes the rank of the person passing on determines his or her rank after death.
Okay, now let's talk about our Queen Mother, Nana Amakunadu Yadom III. Now I do know that she succeeded from her mother Nana Ifya Kobi II in 2016, and Nana Ifya reigned for 98 years. And right now, currently, we want to know the late Nana Amakunadu III. What is her biography? What do we need to know about Nana Hima, Asante Hima?
Well, she was born Nana Ama Kwadu. He was born Nana Ama Kwadu. There was no Yadom.
Okay.
But when she became the Queen of Asante, Yadom was added to it. Yadom simply means the organizer, the one who brings home a lot of people. She was born in 1927. Originally, a mistake came that she was born 1935.
Oh, I see.
But that is not the case. She was born in 1927. The mother was the Queen of Asante, the 13th Queen of Asante. Nana Amakwadu's mother was the Queen of Asante. Nana Amakwandu was the 14th Queen Mother.
All right. And Nana Ifya Kobi was the 13th.
And then Nana Ifya Kobi Sewampem, who gave birth to Nana Kwandu, was the 13th Queen Mother.
All right.
Usually, you notice that when queen mothers are being selected, they normally choose elderly women.
Yeah.
So nobody should expect maybe a young woman. The reason is very simple. Life among the Ashantis is physical and spiritual. The spiritual aspect, where the stool house is a sacred room, the queen mother is allowed to go to the stool house. So she goes there only when she is not in her menstrual period. So in order to avoid going to ask the queen whether she has menstruated or not, they choose somebody in the menopause.
Sorry to come in between, but is there any reason as to why our queen mother should not be on her period to visit?
Yes, that is spiritual. And all the laws, the rules and regulations that you find among the Asante was constructed, initiated by women. So if the women themselves say a woman in a menstrual period should not go to the sacred room, men would only have to defend it. So we are defending what was given to us by the women.
So when they say abrewetia, yempesa ebia ekubisa abrewetia, what is her role? Why should they always consult her? Once the king is alive and is the one in charge of day-to-day administration of the kingdom?
The queen is usually the granddaughter of the king, the sister of the king, the mother of the king, the boss or the niece of the person of the queen mother. But as soon as you assume the position of the queen mother, you become the mother of the king. No matter how old the king is, no matter how young the queen mother is, you become an automatic member mother of the king. So that is why even if you are 40 years or 50 years old, you are termed Abrewa. Abrewa means the most elderly woman in the community. So you are addressed as the most elderly woman in the community, and you behave as such. You are the advisor to the king. Every queen mother chooses the chief or the king, and the king or chief chooses the queen mother. So it's the responsibility of the queen mother to select who among her royals who is fit enough to be the king. Now when that is done, when she has selected the one she thinks is the most suitable, he is brought before the elders of the state to find out or to tell if they have any fault against that person. It is very democratic because when they find a genuine fault against the person the queen mother has selected, the queen mother will be made to select a different person because that person has a problem. Now when even the second one goes the same way, the queen mother would again be advised by the elders to change the candidates. Now when there's nothing wrong with the first candidate, he becomes an automatic chief or king. Now the queen mother has 3 chances. When all the 3 chances have failed, maybe he is still interested in the person that he has chosen, in spite of the fact that that person has a problem. Then she has to step aside for the elders to select one of her own royals for her to approve.
So now back to the barrier. The
the burial, tomorrow there will be a church service. That's a burial service. Why burial service? Because the Asantes, the perception out is that for, and with all what is going on here, that has been confirmed. So why burial service? I understand she is a member of the African Faith Church. So why the burial service, despite the Sumankwa people doing their things and those things? Is it not a camouflage? Yeah. You just want to deceive us that yes, but there are things that are happening.
Asante has incorporated all forms of religion, and the state has accepted it, that every form of religion is accepted within the Asante community, and no one has to be denied of the kind of belief that he or she holds. The Asantehene and Asantehema are always automatic patrons of the Anglican Church. So no matter what church you belong, if you become an Asantehene or Asantehema, you are also an automatic member or an automatic patron of the Anglican Church. So if any service would go on, all the other services, the priests, the local priests have done theirs. Now her church, which is the Savior Church, has also done their part, or has done its part. Then we are now at the Anglican Church, where she is a patron. They are going to perform the rites. When they finish, the final one will be the local way of saying the last prayer. It is for this reason that it is going to be carried to the mausoleum in Bantama. By 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it will be stationed there. And in the middle of the night, or deep early in the morning, it will be carried to the final resting place.
Now let's come to the Bantama Bamu. So the procession will start from Mensah, let's say by 9 p.m.
Yes.
So they will carry her on their head, not in vehicle.
Well, it could be in vehicle, it could be holding.
But that will be in a solemn way.
Yeah, that will be in 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Between 9 and 10. They will go and deposit it at Bantama Bemu. That is the Bantama Royal Mausoleum.
Why Bantama Bemu?
Bantama is the church. It's not the burial ground. If you have seen, it is very close to the Konfanoche Hospital. And you see the nature, the design, and nobody tells you it looks like a church. So it's the church of the local people. When they pass on, the chiefs and queens, when they pass on, they are stationed there, and every rite would have to be performed before it is carried to the final destination.
Are we supposed to know the kind of rites that will be performed there?
Yes, yes and no. You are supposed to know because sometimes it is covered and placed in books. You read books and you find some of them, not all. Sometimes you hear from the radio or television, but not all. There are certain parts which none of us would know, and which those responsible will not even tell anybody.
But the one that we are supposed to know, tell us,
yes,
what are they going to do there?
What you are supposed to know is it will be carried, and whilst it's being carried to Bantama Royal Mausoleum, you can follow it to the Royal Mausoleum. And so whatever is being performed, or whatever exercise being undertaken, will be seen with our naked eyes. So if you don't follow it, you will not know what happens at every stage when they go into the mausoleum.
So the last burial, I mean, when Nana Fiakobi Sawampim died, at around 9 p.m. I was at Bantama
where I saw the Bantamahene and his delegation waiting for the arrival of the body. What is his responsibility there?
Whose responsibility?
Bantamahene.
Now, Bantamahene is the chief bodyguard and the war general for Kumasi.
Okay.
You see soldiers around. What do they want here? Everywhere that there is a natural tendency of a stampede or misbehavior, you see soldiers. So the Bantama is a soldier and one of the war generals of Asante. So he's there to keep order.
Okay, so from Bantama Burmu, when they are done with their rituals, or after they are done with the prayers that are supposed to be said there, because you told us that that place is more like a church.
Yes.
So after they are done with the traditional prayers, the body will then move from Bantama to Bremai. Going to Bremai, which routes are they going to use?
Well, we've not been told yet which routes.
Because that place from Burmu, you can connect from Burmu to Abrepo Junction. You can also come back to Kejetia and use the Asanteman route to Swamiranabar. So where are they going to?
Before the end of the day, I'm sure we will be told. As a journalist, you can get closer to their chairman and ask them. Otherwise, it can't be hidden until the very time that they are moving.
Okay.
Because it is not everything that is done in the open.
But why should we even in the first place? Because this is history. We all want to catch a glimpse of what is happening. Why should we remain indoor? I mean, we can see it.
Our queen is going. It is not history yet. It's happening now. So after everything, maybe on Friday, it becomes history and we all talk about it.
But we are also learning that when they are in the procession, they go naked.
Yeah.
They are not supposed to wear anything. So we are told that the Omoshe Danta. What is it?
Well, rituals are performed according to the dictates of the priests leading them. So when the priest says, remove, maybe you can come to the ground only when you are wearing a piece of cloth around your loin. We see people going to greet the chiefs everywhere in Ghana, and especially going to greet the Asante, the king of Asante. They lower the left shoulder of their cloth and before they greet. So it is part of the ritual. It is part of this culture and tradition which we are exhibiting. So when you go to such places, you will be told what to do and what not to do. It is for that reason that when a chief dies, they say "Oko Akura." When in the eye of the public, the person is dead, but we don't say the person is dead.
Thank you very much. So that is Professor Safo Kantak, a resident historian in Mensah Palace, taking us through the history and tradition that are supposed to be observed so far as this 4 days burial rite of Asante Hima is concerned. Colleagues in the studio, take over.
All right.
We'll be back.
All right, so thank you so much, Ike, and thank you, Prof, for walking us down the lane. We are still live on GHOne TV and also live on Star FM and Ultimate 106.9 FM here in Kumasi. Well, we cross over to you, Joshua. Please take over.
Thank you, team, for that insightful conversation there. And mind you, it's a whole day, and so we'll be crossing over to them as and when to bring you more updates on the final funeral rites of the Asante Hima. But then in studio, now it's time to talk entrepreneurship. You know, on Wednesdays and Fridays, we bring you nothing but the best in conversations. And it's time to talk about entrepreneurship with Bolare. Cohort 3 is currently underway, and we've been joined by one of the members of the cohorts. Quinsta and Saki is joining me. She is the business development manager and marketing manager of .Not Limited. We'll get to understand exactly what they do and how the Cohort 3 is impacting the business. Quinsta, welcome.
Thank you, Joshua.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing very well.
Amazing. How's the journey been for you, for starters?
Thank you very much once again, and a very good morning to you and all your cherished listeners out there. My name is GHOne Saki, as you rightly mentioned. I am a co-founder, marketing and business development lead for GHOne Limited. So far, we have been with GHOne Limited for 3 years now, since our inception in February 2022, and the journey has been good. We started with our 25-acre cassava farm at Kwewa Farm Plains, and we transitioned into cassava processing into gari, of which we have one here. And then we also have our chili pepper, red chili pepper, which we add to our gari processing. So basically, GHOne, we do two things: cassava to gari, and then chili pepper production.
So talk to me about, you say you're co-founder of the company. What led to that decision to say, you know what, of all the things in the world, this is what we want to focus on?
Two things.
Okay.
So my other co-founder, who happens to be a mentor right from my childhood, so we are in the team. He is my mentor we started with. So he discovered he wanted to go into farming.
Okay.
And then he discovered, through searching for land and everything, we found ourselves in Kwewa Farm Plains. None of us have been there before, but we went there for the first time and then realized that, okay, this place can be good for our farming adventure that we want to start. So we went there and started as cassava farmers, just like the indigenes over there. What actually brought us into gari processing is we had a lot of cassava farmers all over us, but it will surprise you down to today, people exchange cassava for fish. And
wow.
Yes.
Butter trade.
Yes, it happened. That was my first time hearing it and seeing it. So we realized that if all these farmers are there and then we are here for impact, making money and doing business, why don't we process? So to solve the issue of post-harvest losses, we buy their cassava in addition to ours, and then we will process it for the market that we have. That is the gari market. So we are solving market's demand issue and also post-harvest losses for our farmers so that they also have income for themselves.
And at what point did the chili come into being?
Like I rightly said, it's business and market demand. Right. Since we are in the agric industry, we've been doing cassava and we are doing gari, and then among conversations and then some of the stakeholders we engage with, the chili markets also demanded our attention. So we're like, okay, fine, since we can do it together, then we have gari, we have pepper, gari and shito.
All you need is fish. You're good to go. But talk to me about core 3 of entrepreneurship with Bolare. What made you decide to be a part of it?
Who doesn't want to go to Barbados?
That's a good one.
Who
That's
doesn't?
a good one, right?
Yes. So yes, there is a grand prize. The money is there. It's one of my motivation. But yes, Barbados is also calling me. So I saw it that look, let me just join. I saw the advert. My team members shared the advert with me. Okay. I joined, and then as I said in my 1-minute video, I joined with the intention of getting strategies to refine our business model for bigger collaboration, also to get markets.
Okay.
Market.
You know what? Before we continue the conversation, let's watch that 1-minute video, and then let's continue the conversation here on the show.
Hello everyone, my name is GHOne Saki, co-founder, business development and marketing lead for GHOne Limited. GHOne Limited is a cassava production and processing company, also engaged in chili pepper production. We process cassava into gari for both local and export markets while providing market access to smallholder farmers and women in our network. My motivation to join this program is to access funds which we use to scale, obtain strategies to refine our business plans, and also connect with fellow leaders that will help us grow sustainably. Thank you.
Right, so that's that 1-minute video of GHOne introducing herself, and I remember this video from the launch of Core 3, and some of the products are actually here. So I see this pepper looking very fresh, like it was plucked today.
Yesterday, and I froze it.
Oh, okay. Okay, and that's some interesting packaging for pepper. Like pepper, it's just pepper. You are wondering how. And then the gari is also here on the table there. We'll talk about the products, but you were talking to me about the motivation for E with BR, and then one of the things you wanted to pick up on the show was strategies. Over the past couple of weeks, how has it been?
So 2 things. All the facilitators have hinted on networking. Yes, so I think it has helped us a lot that relationships are just beyond talking to people. There are currencies that you can build on. And then they encourage us that when you're networking with someone, one thing to leave a very good impression is make sure you're adding value to the person. So you don't just go to ask of help. What are you offering? Because it's a two-way thing. Once you're giving someone something, then the person can offer you help. Then the other thing is strategies, sustainabilities, and then failing fast. I think the concept of failing fast has also helped me. As entrepreneurs, we don't have time on our side. So you can't be thinking of one idea and then be thinking about it. Immediately we want to try a new marketing strategy. You just have to test it. If it picks up, then you go. If it doesn't, then you know that you have to work on new things. So you don't have to think about one thing for a very long time. Fail fast, move to the next thing. Network will build strong currencies through relationships.
Is there any of the mentors that you would say resonates so much with your aspirations?
Oh, God. I think all the females that have come so far, Dr. Akushika, Mrs. Euku, and Dr. Gifty, I think the 3. So one took us on marketing, Dr. Akushika on marketing, Dr. Gifty on sustainability, and Mrs. Euku on scaling up. Yes, I think her story really inspires me, and then how we can get to other African countries or beyond the borders of Ghana, like I am looking forward to doing.
So what's the vision for .NOT?
So we want to be a one-shop gari distributor, processor, and then marketing side from Ghana and then beyond. We want to start entering the African markets and then European markets. So if you're a processor, you're a retailer, you are further processing like what the other brands are doing. We don't mix your gari for you.
It's pure gari.
It's pure gari.
100% pure gari.
Yes.
Okay. I'll check and see. Okay. So that's the product then.
Yeah.
.NOT Limited Masters Gari. Right. 100% natural.
Yes.
Okay. And the ingredients is just cassava.
Yes. We don't mix your gari for you because we believe that gari is beyond soakings. You can do you can do gari jollof and a whole lot of things. So we leave it for your own culinary expertise. Whatever you want to use gari for, you have to choose and then do to taste for your taste.
So is it just retailing or you do even bulk sales?
We do bulk sales. So if you're an exporter, you can come to .NOC. Whatever quantities you want for your containers, you can get. If you're a retailer, we have the smaller packages for you. If you're a wholesaler that you want it in 50 kg sacks for resale, we have it for you. We're a production hub. So we can give it to you based on the customer's precision, customized for you. Okay. This is someone who wants it in 1.5 kg. We have it for you.
That's what you have here. Okay, so Krista, talk to me. 5 years from now, what should we be expecting from you and .NOT?
5 years from now, like I was saying, you should be expecting .NOC as your one-shop gari processing or production hub in Ghana.
Okay.
Our production, we foresee having a gari in all homes in Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, and most of the African countries and then European countries. And with our chili pepper too, we are looking forward to more value addition. We sell it green, we sell it fresh red, and then we sell it dry. Yes. Okay. So in this, we process it green powder, red powder, fresh. Any form of pepper that you will need, you have to come to .NOC Limited.
So how do people get in touch with you?
So we have our social media across all social media is Dotnoch Limited, DORTHNOCH Ltd, Limited. And then you can follow our product page on Facebook, Masters Gary on Facebook. And then, or you can reach out to me, Quinstein Saki, across all social media. And or reach out, our contact number is 055 717 2653. 055 717 2653.
So, what would winning core 3 mean to you and to the business?
My first time to go to Barbados.
Hey, you are really keen on Barbados. This is the first time I've seen someone who is as keen as I am when it comes to Barbados.
So it will give me an opportunity to go to Barbados, of which we are looking at entering into that market.
Okay.
So to the business, larger market visibility, brand visibility for us, new markets, especially the Barbados market for our chili.
The chili as well. But I know it is one of the products that they actually look forward to.
Yes, actually.
In the island.
Yes.
Barbados.
So big visibility for our brand in the Barbados market. Connecting with my team co-mentees that I have built good collaboration with, and also, like I've mentioned, I get the opportunity to go to Barbados.
Hey, Queensta. Who mean Barbados? Well, Queensta, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best. Let's see if you join a team to Barbados. I'm looking forward to that as well.
Thank you.
Queensta Saki, business development lead with Dotnoch Limited. She's also a co-founder of the company. They are into Gary, pepper, in fact, agriculture. And we're looking forward to see them scale up as well as being part of Core 3 of entrepreneurship with Bolare. Remember, there's a cash prize for the winner, and the winner this year also gets to go to Barbados with me and the team. We'll see you there. But let's do some birthdays. Some wonderful people celebrating their birthdays this morning before we draw the curtains on the show. Happy birthday, Prosper Todonko. May your days be as bright as your smile and personality. You are a brother every person needs to have. Enjoy your new age. And it's from your brother Fifi to you. Happy birthday to you, Atodonko. Happy birthday, Apostle Michael Boache Dankwa. Thank you for being the most wonderful friend anyone could ask for. And it's from Edu Praise in the United States of America to you. Happy birthday, Osofo. More grace, more oil. We pray for you. Happy birthday. Wishing you a day filled with love, laughter, and everything that brings you joy. May this new year bring new adventures, good health, and countless beautiful moments. Enjoy every second. You deserve it. Happy birthday to you. And this one, happy birthday to a friend and sister. God bless you abundantly, Tracy. I love you. And it's from Tanya. Happy birthday to you, Tracy. Enjoy your beautiful new age, more adventures, and more money. Happy birthday to you. And a happy birthday, Anna. Hope God blesses you and keeps you safe in every way. I'm really lucky to call you both a friend and a sister. Enjoy your special day once again. And it's from Irish to you, Anna. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Bez. You've been my safe space, just partner, my laughter and my strength. May this new year be your most beautiful chapter yet, full of growth, happiness, and everything you've ever prayed for. And it's from Scarlett to you, Bez. Enjoy your new age. And we've got so much in store for you, even including the government accountability series. The Transport Minister would also be addressing the media. So we'll cross over there shortly. But let's take a breather. We'll return to Kumasi as well.